June 19th, 2002, an improbable dream becomes a reality.
Tonight, a very special evening. It's an evening that revolves around history, and history on so many fronts.
8 years of growth.
I've always said that we've grown TNA Wrestling one fan at a time, and it's so true. And now to have the size of audiences that we have, it's so exciting for me as a president of the company to look back and see how far we've come and how much we've grown.
8 years of accomplishment.
Here's the face-off! They're nose to nose! My God, it's Samoa Joe and Kurt Angle! Oh my God, Kurt Angle just headbutted Samoa Joe! Olympic slam! Olympic slam by Angle and Samoa Joe!
I think the reason that TNA Wrestling has been able to succeed and continue to get bigger and better over the past few years is because of the wrestlers. I think a lot of the wrestlers, even the homegrown talent, has really elevated themselves. We've elevated each other, and we made this into a world-renowned company.
This is it! This is the moment that we have been anticipating for months! It's Hulk Hogan, and he's live in the Impact Zone.
TNA is in that groove. They're doing everything right. They don't miss, they're consistent, and they are so proud of what they do. For me, I am just happy to grab the end of the train and hang on now. It's awesome to be here. This company is unbelievable.
On a night of surprises, how's this for a shocker? Charismatic Enigma Jeff Hardy in TNA?
It's another year overcome, doing something that people thought that we couldn't do from the beginning, and that's make it to the next level.
Making history come alive before your very eyes.
1, 2, 3, and he did it!
Mr. TNA, Rob Van Dam just made history. RVD, the new TNA World Champion.
The history is here. The memories are waiting. And now, TNA Wrestling presents the pay-per-view that is 8 years in the making. Slammiversary.
Contender Sting. Can Sting gain the power that goes with the world title? And in the process, explain the meaning behind deception.
The opening contest for Slammiversary on pay-per-view is scheduled for one fall. Introducing, first of all, from Anaheim, California, weighing in at 222 pounds, Kazarian.
So interesting to see how Kazarian's association with Ric Flair has brought out, well, the confidence in Kazarian, and at the same time, it's brought out the competitive juices of the phenomenal AJ Styles.
I think it's awesome. I mean, we're seeing a different side of Kazarian, a side I'm in favor of. Let's see if he can get it done against the man himself who's coming right now.
And now, introducing his opponent. From Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, weighing in at 232 pounds, professional wrestling's only Olympic gold medalist, Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle is a man on a mission to prove that he's better than everyone in TNA's top 10. Initially given the number 2 spot in the rankings. Angle declines, turns down number 2, says he's going to work from the ground up. He wants to start with number 10, and Taz, the mere fact that Kazarian was slotted in the number 10 spot in the rankings has put a bullseye right on his chest.
Well, that's Kurt Angle. That's what Kurt's about, a work ethic. He wanted to work his way up there, as you said, from 10 up. And that's a tough 10 in Kazarian. I think this one here is going to be a doozy, my friend. And by the way, happy anniversary, Mr. Today.
The big 8-year anniversary. Same to you, Taz. Great to have you on board. Great to see so many of the fans as I look around the Impact Zone that have been with us for the past 8 years.
Well, I guess you can see who has the home field advantage here.
Tremendous response for the Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle. Remember what he told Kazarian recently on Impact? He likes his opponents to know what he's going to do to them in advance. And he told Kazarian that at Slammiversary, your ass is going to be mine.
Well, Kazarian right there utilizing his quickness, 2 deep arm drags, sending a direct message to the 13-time world champion, Kurt Angle.
Talking about the ranking system in TNA, we can tell you that this Thursday night on Impact, we will have the new rankings, top 10 contenders. Going to take everything into account that's gone down over the past month, and so much has to do in those rankings with what happens tonight right here at Slammiversary.
Well, right now, Kazarian able to get control right there. Kind of a side armbar on Kurt Angle. I don't know if you want to play the actual wrestling game with Angle. Now Kurt just sweeping the leg, got a 2-on-1. That's where a man controls a wrist with 2 hands with a back sweep. And putting Kazarian on his back. Excellent give up.
Nice counter by Kazarian.
How about the USA chant? I guess Kazarian is not an American. What's going on with that? Isn't Anaheim, California part of America?
Last time I checked, off the drop down, you see Kazarian float over, and then Angle just overpowers him into the corner.
Just in midair, double leg driving Kazarian. Oof. A little overzealous was Angle. Watch Kazarian, Mike.
Goes springboard after avoiding the contact in the corner and connects as both legs go right into the chest of Angle, caught him with the drop.
And that's a great opportunity also for Kazarian here to move up in the ranking system, sitting at number 10 right now. Got to wonder if the Nature Boy Ric Flair was impressed with that missile drop kick springboard right there. I'm sure he was.
One would presume.
Whoa, 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 whoa!
Angle connects with the German.
Talk about impressive, excellent flow. Kurt going for another one. Watch how Kurt pops his hips, folks. Look at how low. Pops his hips, gets his hips under the opponent, able to create that torque, that velocity to drive his opponent onto the back of his head.
It's what allows him to get all of that impact with the landing. Oh, just when he went for another shot at the German suplex, a blatant Ric Flair-style low blow right in front of the referee. That could be a disqualification.
Well, referee, I think, should disqualify Kazarian.
Referee Brian Hebner was going to disqualify him.
Dude, I think Angle's pleading his case, telling the referee, don't disqualify Kazarian.
Brian Hebner was going to call for the bell, disqualify Kazarian. You're right, Kurt Angle has apparently talked the official out of the disqualification.
Wow, I'm surprised at Brian Hebner. I mean, I respect his decision, but, well, he is the man in charge, and I guess Angle talked him out of it because Angle wants to prove himself against Kazarian, who's in hot pursuit. God.
And Kazarian wants to take advantage of the situation following up that low blow. While he has Kurt on the defensive, I think in Kurt's mind, he doesn't want to get a cheap win, let's say. Doesn't want to get a disqualification win. He wants a pinfall. He wants a submission victory over Kazarian.
You see Kurt Angle was still grabbing his lower extremities, I guess we'll call it, after the low blow that Kurt probably still feeling effects of by Kazarian.
Watch this, watch this slingshot leg drop. Follow, has the legs hooked, no, just 2. And Kazarian goes right back to the offense.
Well, that's smart. High impact move, and then hook yourself a front headlock to utilize the man. Gotta watch Kurt Angle. If he gets control of the wrist of Kazarian, it's a good way out of it, but Kurt looks like he's throwing some body blows to get out, and he did.
Series of rights. Kazarian shot off into the ropes, and Angle goes for the clothesline. Oh, doesn't connect there, but he sure did with that tilt-a-whirl style backbreaker.
You see Kazarian's head on the backbreaker, the whiplash-like motion. Nice reversal.
Oh! Impactful beautiful clothesline by Kazarian as Angle came out of the corner. The momentum after being shot into the turnbuckles enabled Kazarian to drop him with that clothesline.
Putting pressure on the throat. It's an illegal maneuver, but effective. And Kazarian utilizing the 5 count by referee Brian Hebner. I'll tell you, Kazarian better be careful, because he caught a break that Hebner didn't disqualify him, in my opinion. But
at the same time, if you're Kazarian and you see that Kurt Angle doesn't want the disqualification victory, to me that might open things up here for Kazarian to take the low road, figuring he's got a free pass.
Well, I definitely would think that's a good assessment.
Kurt able to get back up to that vertical base. Rifles off the shots, right hands into the midsection. One to the head and another one to the head.
It's tough to go back to the same hole. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Oh my God! Explosive release German suplex, turning Kazarian inside out.
Yeah, that time not about maintaining the grip and not about trying to put together a series of suplexes. It was all about that quick burst of power, that quick burst of energy.
Explosiveness is the word. And with a suplex, you just need one to get yourself going, to shut down your opponent, and that's what Angle did. Ken Angle capitalized on.
And nobody knows that better than my broadcast partner when it comes to the suplexes. As Kazarian comes out of the corner, fighting with a right, but Kurt right there to answer with a shot of his own.
Look at this. As you can see who our TNA fan base is in favor of here.
Very vocal crowd tonight at Slammiversary, as it's Angle's turn to go with the clotheslines.
Kurt stalks his opponent, stays on top of Kazarian. Watch out! This is where, you know, your cardiovascular abilities here take over right now at this point in the matchup. Both men seem to be in great shape, still moving very quick. Uh-oh, beautiful belly to belly.
Released it. Cutting with the suplex. Here's the follow, cover in the 2 count.
A plethora of suplexes delivered by the Olympic gold medalist, 13-time world champion Kurt Angle. Kazarian might not know where the hell he's at right now.
Got doubled over with the boot. Oh, Kurt gonna take him up.
Beautiful counter.
Kazarian off the float over, goes spinning neck breaker. Lays out Kurt. Here's the cover, here's the pin, and no, just 2 again.
Well, I like the way Kazarian's thinking. I'm assuming he hit that neck breaker because it's very well documented that Kurt Angle has had several neck surgeries, a surgically repaired neck. If there's a kink in the armor of Angle, it's his neck.
Competed in the Olympics, 1996 Atlanta with the broken neck, did Kurt Angle.
Look at the power. Wow. Stacked him, got him.
Power bomb, pin, no. Oh, look at this. Submission move, the patented Kurt Angle ankle lock.
Tremendous transition. Got a cover. The shoulder's up, shoulder. Whoa, the shoulder was never down. I don't think the referee could see that. Talk about impact.
Yeah, big time drop kick.
Whoa.
Kazarian leans back into the cover.
See, Kurt could have easily grabbed the bottom rope to avoid kicking out and exerting more energy, but I don't know if Kurt realized where he was, or if he's just got a lot of pride, he wanted to kick out.
With Angle down, Kazarian going to try and, well, take advantage of this situation. You don't get Kurt Angle down flat on the mat.
Don't take too long, Kazarian. Do what you're going to do and do it quick. Uh-oh, see what I'm saying?
Yeah, Kazarian plays to the crowd, and then he pays. Watch this pin.
Oh, man, that was close. What a match to kick off Slammiversary on such a massive evening, such a special event for this company and its history. What a way to kick the show off.
Angle measures. Angle stalks. And again, Kazarian has an answer.
Well, roll through. Going right back to the ankle. Can Kurt clasp it and get that ankle lock? Oh, look at those kicks to the face.
As Kazarian charges, Angle prepared, elevates him to the apron. But the shoulder block from the outside leads to the slingshot DDT.
That might be it.
Hebner counts 2. Whoa!
Again, back to the neck. A DDT not just affects your skull and possibly getting knocked out, but it just accordion likes your neck and your spinal cord. A lot of energy in this building tonight, buddy.
Gotta love it.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Gotta break that hold. Oh, what a short German. Excellent throw. Very tough to pull that off. That just brings big-time impact on the back of your bean, man.
And this time, Angle not letting go.
Well, that's the, we've talked about in the past, the insane grip strength, the finger strength, and hand power of Kurt Angle all those years as an amateur. Your grip is vital. No signs of Kurt letting go of that clasp. Was that three? Had about a hat trick already?
Yep. Hat trick, trifecta.
Kurt sucking his hips in. See, bringing his hips close to Kurt's hips. Kazarian got to try and break that grip. There you go. That fourth throw might be enough.
Kurt back up to his feet. Here come the straps down.
Kazarian's got to try to do something to stop this momentum because Kurt has got bad, violent intentions. You can see it. Angle slam coming, counter.
Another counter by Kazarian off the angle slam.
Well, there's a reason why Kazarian's a number 10 contender. Uh-oh. Oh, my God.
How many victories have we seen Kazarian get with
He's got another one right now.
Stacks him up, covers him, and no!
How the hell did Angle kick out?
Especially a move like that, dropping him directly down onto his head. And after he's already worked on the surgically repaired neck of Kurt Angle, that's an amazing feat by Kurt to avoid the pin.
After a neck breaker by Kazarian on Angle and that nasty DDT, then that sick-looking tight pile driver. Oh, Kurt might be right for the pickings. Well, maybe not.
Fighting spirit of Kurt Angle stopped by the eye rake of Kazarian.
Well, that tilt-the-world counter by Kazarian and levels Angle.
We go for another pin off the clothesline for two.
Excellent, excellent outing by both these athletes here.
Super competitive matchup to kick off Slammiversary. Think Kurt Angle using the services of Amazing Red recently on Impact to prepare. He's had a great game plan, but at the same time, boy, the strategy of Kazarian in this match, that's been awfully impressive as well.
Here we go, another springboard. Uh-oh. Whoa, buddy.
That time he caught him. Angle slam, leg hook, shoulders down, and he did.
Oh, man.
Did everything but get the three.
You could just see the frustration in Angle's eyes. Speaking of eyes, did you see that
glazed look?
Glazed look by Kazarian.
Little Led Zepp reference, maybe a little dazed and confused.
Might be a little dazed and confused. Well, those who are fans of Kurt Angle know that he pulls off a moonsault, but that's not happening.
Cut off by Kazarian, using the ropes for leverage on the pin. But even the ropes for leverage is not enough to keep the shoulders of Angle down for three.
Kazarian looks like he's trying to kick himself into a second gear here, which is excellent, excellent strategy by Kazarian. What's he got in mind? We're going to find out.
Seen so many moves by Kazarian in this match.
He
was going to go for that spike-style pile driver again. Instead, the reversal by Kurt Angle. He's got the ankle lock and check the ring positioning, Taz.
Well, Kazarian was trying to reach for the bottom rope. Not happening. Kurt trying to keep away from those ropes. Oh, man, I think it's all over with the shouting, Mike. This might be it.
There it is.
The winner of the match, the tap out submission, Kurt Angle.
What an awesome, awesome matchup to kick this excellent pay-per-view off here, which stands to be excellent, I should say. Outstanding. Kurt Angle victorious.
And Kazarian.
Oh, look, put up number 9 right there.
I was going to say Kazarian is victim number 1. Boy, if we can get highlights of this matchup, I'd love to take another look, and I think my wish is going to be granted.
Oh, you see right in midair, Kurt Angle caught Kazarian with that double leg, a bunch of suplex. That low blow was almost the end of the match, but Kurt didn't want the disqualification to happen, I should say. And just this thing was all over the place. Good game plan by Kazarian, focusing the neck, but to no avail.
Angle caught Kazarian coming off the top. Connects with the angle slam. And that sets the stage for the submission victory. Kurt Angle, a man on a mission. And he knocks off number 10 ranked Kazarian in his quest to defeat everyone in the top 10 rankings here in TNA. It's Mike Tenay and Taz. We welcome you to TNA's 8-year anniversary, Slammiversary, and on this monumental night, I want to thank you, the TNA fans, for your incredible and your loyal support for the past 8 years.
Well, speaking of thank yous, I would personally like to thank some of the pioneers here in TNA from the very beginning, so people like me can apply their craft somewhere else. I mean, people like AJ Styles, Abyss, James Storm, Kazarian, Jerry Lynn, Chris Sabin, Don West, JB, Jeremy Borash, Bob Ryder, you, Mike Tenay. Mike Tenay called every single show in TNA's history. That's a huge feat on that, so happy anniversary on that. And let's not forget the founder of this company, the one, the only, Jeff Jarrett.
Well, thank you, Taz. It's been a great ride for 8 years. Looking forward to many more. You touched on Jeff Jarrett. What a bittersweet moment this has to be for Jeff. We want to send a shout out to him watching at his home in Hendersonville, Tennessee with the girls. And I know Jeff wishes he could be with us here at Slammiversary, recovering from the attack by the icon Sting. And speaking of Sting, it's Rob Van Dam for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is our Slammiversary main event for this evening. It's what we're going to be talking about throughout this pay-per-view broadcast. What do you say we get our first title match of the night in? Let's check out the X Division. Yes, it is. Title matchup number 1 tonight at Slammiversary with the X Division. And yes, here's the scouting report. May 10 on Impact, Brian Kendrick defeats the X Division champ Douglas Williams in a non-title bout. And while tonight's champion and challenger have formed a tag team here in TNA, there was really never that indication that the two were on the same page. And while Douglas Williams has made no secret about his disdain, his dislike for the high flyers and the risk takers of the X Division, Brian Kendrick's agenda, not quite as defined or clear. He promises to feed off the positive energy of the third eye to capture the title.
Third eye, at least he's not relying on his third leg.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the TNA X Division Championship of the World. Introducing first of all the challenger from Los Angeles, California, Brian Kendrick.
Taz, I think you were going to tell everybody what Brian Kendrick meant in his comments Thursday on Impact.
Well, you know, I saw Brian Kendrick earlier tonight in the restroom, and I asked him about the prenatal, pituitary gland he was speaking of. I still don't know what he's talking about. He's just whacked.
And now introducing his opponent, proudly representing his home of England. He is the current TNA X Division champion of the world, Douglas Williams.
Never been a question about how technically sound Douglas Williams, the X Division champion, is as a competitor here in TNA. Superb mat wrestler.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, listen, Doug Williams is wearing the X Division gold for a reason. You know, I've said it before, I'll say it again, the man is the cornerstone of the X Division. Different style than all the other X Division athletes. Thinking about different, Brian Kendrick, a little off color, a little bizarre, outlandish. He's whacked, I'm telling you.
And I'm with you on Douglas Williams. In terms of his technical abilities. But at the same time, this philosophy that he has, that his way is the only way, and especially when it comes to the X Division risk takers and high flyers, I don't think I buy in. I think that's what makes the X Division so great. And we've seen that for 8 years here in TNA. It's the division that has no limits. Certainly, it's never been about weight limits. You go back to the early days here in TNA, and we talked about many of the great names right at the top of this broadcast, Taz. Factor in people like a Low Key, a Michael Shane, Jerry Lynn, AJ Styles, as you mentioned, and they really were the pioneers of the early days here of TNA's X Division.
Well, absolutely. I've always been a fan of the X Division, even while I wasn't in this company in TNA. But I do feel that, listen, Doug Williams is the X Division champion. He's the champion of that division. He's got a lot of stroke. He's got some power. And if he wants to try and change the face or doesn't respect the face of the division, hey, he's the champion. If he can chop these competitors down, then let him have at it.
So you're saying that the other X Division competitors, they have to beat Williams, take the X Division title away, and take back the division.
Basically, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yep, that's basically it. So let's see if Brian Kendrick can get her done. Kendrick's a little bit of a, tough guy to prepare for. You really never know what he's going to do. He's extremely unpredictable. Trying to get control of the hand. Now, nice. Going for a Fujiwara armbar, but you see how Williams, Matt Savvy, realized what was going down and got himself to the ropes.
All about ring awareness at that point. And also the ability to position and move your body and get over to those ring ropes and get the break. It's what we said right from the start. Technically sound, never denied. Superb mat wrestler. That's what Douglas Williams, the X Division champion, is all about.
Quickly spins over, gets himself a front headlock.
How beautiful that float over was.
Well, you see how Williams keeps his body flat to the mat, keeps all his weight on the back of the neck and head of Kendrick. Excellent counter. And I'll tell you, Kendrick smart going right to the back of the upper spine of the X Division champion.
Got him set up in the corner, and as Kendrick goes to charge in, Williams extends the leg and caught him with the boot right in the face, and then goes back once again to neutralizing the challenger.
Look at that. Just a leg lace into a forward roll. And see Kendrick realize what's going on and counters the hold.
Yeah, didn't have an answer, did Williams, for the free leg of Brian Kendrick, who all of a sudden takes advantage with the leg lock. And then, speaking of free legs, that's what Williams uses to just shoot Kendrick right through the ropes and out to the floor.
Well, as we pointed out, we've heard Douglas Williams say it himself. He kind of looks down. He looks down on all the other X Division athletes. And he's called them trapeze artists or artiste or whatever he says with his English accent there. Man, that's not, it's not in the basic rule book. And I've yet to see this rule book, by the way. I don't know where this rule book is.
Wow, Kendrick crashes and burns going into the guardrail. And then Williams, the follow-up, is a backdrop-style suplex. And he just took Kendrick and dropped him right out on the arena floor.
See Douglas Williams talking some trash to Kendrick. And now Williams breaking the count to avoid the count out.
Now senses that he's not going to get the win outside. He's got to roll Kendrick inside to beat him in the ring to retain the title. And well,
that's it. It's all about breaking down an opponent, and that's what Douglas Williams does so well.
Rake of the eyes. The caution by referee Slick Johnson as he started the count. And Kendrick going to try and fight back here. Goes with the strikes. See if he has any success with those as both champ and challenger exchange.
Oh, look at that, the strength and size advantage of Williams.
Fall away slam. Watch this pin.
I get him. That was a pretty strong kick out by Brian Kendrick.
Williams has had something every time that Kendrick seems to get the offense rolling. Backbreaker that time. Plants him right across the knee.
Smart. If you could basically break down the man's back, especially someone like a Brian Kendrick, you can take away some of his offense. Look at that. Yeah, that puts just tons of pressure on your lower back. And that's smart. Kendrick breaking that grip, going for a cover. Look at this.
Dropped right down into the pinning predicament for two, and then powerful shot with the elbow by the champ Williams.
See how quick Mike Douglas Williams follows up. No wasted motion, except for that thing. The whole hand and the whole...
That's wasted, isn't it?
I don't really know what that is. I guess it's like a UK thing.
It displays the cockiness, the confidence of the X Division champ. Cravat-style headlock here.
Yeah, control a man's head, control his body. And that's what we're seeing Williams do here.
Kendrick has just never had the opportunity to really get rolling, to get on track in this title match.
Well, that's a nice block. Looked like Williams is going for a vertical suplex, but oh no!
Full speed ahead. Kendrick one step ahead.
Watch out!
And then goes suicide dive on Douglas Williams.
Well, just what Williams talks about the X Division athletes do that he doesn't respect. High-flying stuff, high-risk stuff. Well, it just caught the X Division champ big time there. Brian Kendrick is not wasting time going to the top. Williams has no idea. I don't think Kendrick's even there.
Missile drop kick, right on target.
Luchambo! Oh. You could sense that urgency by Brian Kendrick. There's an opportunity for him to get himself some gold here. Look at this. Oh, wow.
Now he's got the offense rolling.
Looked like he nailed him with a shining wizard kick. I think that's what that was. The camera angle threw me off a bit, but you heard the impact.
It was somewhere between that shining wizard and that flying knee right into the face, somewhere in between.
Well, whatever happened, a limb of Kendrick hit the face of Williams.
Oh, single leg kick by the challenger. Gonna stack the champ up for two.
Really had Kendrick had all of Williams' own weight on his upper shoulder area. That's really tough to kick out of that.
I was going to say, it's also a smart strategy when your opponent outweighs you, as Williams does in this case.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, I don't think that. I think he actually. I think Williams caught Kendrick in the hamstring. I don't think he caught him in the old yam region. What do you think, Mike?
No yam bag.
No yam bag. No, I think it was more handbag. More handbag.
That's the ruling from Slick Johnson. He was watching. Battering ram style headbutt. And then the European uppercut.
Ooh, went for that headbutt. No, look at that counter.
Went for the sunset flip, and Williams drops down into the pin. Roll through. Williams has Kendrick. Oh, he had both shoulders down. Had his legs seized at the same time, but still not able to get three. X Division title to the winner of this match tonight at Slammiversary.
Kendrick really putting up something big right here against Williams. Showing a lot of heart as Kendrick. Nice snap suplex. Now a gut wrench looks like he has a nice, plain old-fashioned gut wrench suplex.
Challenging Kendrick to get back up to his feet. Just waiting the second that the challenger's up. The champ gonna go T-bone style variation right there. That's out of the Taz playbook, and no, two only.
Yeah, kind of way he turned in the air off the T-bone, more like an exploder, but he had that high collar tie into the high crotch. Pops the hips, excellent suplex. Oh boy, slapping the old mush right there. Kendrick showing no respect for the champ.
Well, if that gets the champion out of his game, could turn out to be a smart move for Kendrick. Or it may just incite him to go for that rolling chaos theory suplex out of the corner. That's one way to counter it.
Hey, by any means necessary.
Kendrick has got Williams in a bad way in the corner, but Williams fights back. Caught him with the uppercut out of the corner.
Yeah, Williams not too comfortable being on those ropes for a moment, but look, wait, what's this?
Wow! Tornado DDT!
What the hell?
Pin and 3 count. How about that? Just beat the X Division at their own game.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match, and still TNA X Division Champion of the World,
say effective, but talk about a little bit of hypocritical. I mean, Doug Williams always talk about X-Division maneuvers and how ridiculous they are. And that was more of an X-Division maneuver than a DDT off the ropes. Doug Williams, very impressive way to retain his title. You see some of the action of this match. An excellent physical match for the X-Division Championship. It was back and forth, but that right there was enough to get the win on a very capable Brian Kendrick. It's like a little hypocritical of Williams.
I think that's exactly the case, but at the same time, very smart by the champion, Douglas Williams. Saw the opening and hit that X-Division style move as he retains the title. Douglas Williams, the champ, as we send it to Christy Hemme.
Thanks, Mike. I've just caught up with Eric Bischoff. And Eric, if you don't mind, I'd like to get your thoughts on tonight's TNA World Heavyweight Championship match. Now, for most contenders, winning the TNA title in itself would be a giant win. But according to Sting, it's just part of his bigger plan. What do you think he means by that?
I have no idea. You know, I've known Sting for nearly 2 decades now. And as near as I can tell, given the last couple of years, I think Sting has got his own agenda. I think Sting puts Sting in front of everybody else. I don't think whatever he has in his mind is really in the best interest of this company or the fans. RVD, on the other hand, I think I've said this before and I can't say it enough. He makes us very proud. I don't think TNA could do any better than a champion of the integrity, the caliber, the skill, the popularity of RVD. I'm just very excited about it. I'm looking forward to this match, and hopefully after tonight, we'll get Sting kind of off of our plate and out of our hair for a while.
Thank you very much, Eric. Mike and Taz, back to you.
Thanks very much, Christy. It's time for title match number 2 at Slammiversary as the TNA females, the Knockouts, take the spotlight. We're going to preview this championship match as we go to the Knockouts tail of the tape and remind you that back at New Year's Knockout Eve that Roxy suffered a broken ankle in 2 places that put her on the disabled list for months. And then in her first match back in TNA, Roxy returned with a bang. She pinned the champion Madison Rayne in a non-title bout. You know, when Angelina Love left the beautiful people, many predicted the BP's headed for disaster. Quite honestly, the opposite came true. Velvet Sky, Lacey, still the tag team champions. Madison in her 3rd month as knockout champ.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the TNA Knockouts Championship. Introducing, first of all, making her way to the ring, she is the challenger, TNA Knockout, Roxy.
Let's take you back to Impact. We talked about it in the Knockouts tail of the tape. This matchup, Madison Rayne, non-title against Roxy. And, well, it was the voodoo drop that proved the difference. Bam! Got the victory, got the win. Did Roxy in a non-title bout.
The winner of the match.
Now, question is, can Roxy do it while it matters? And that's while the knockout title's on the line, which is about to happen in a couple of seconds, because here comes the champ.
And now, introducing her opponent, representing the beautiful people, she is the TNA Knockouts champion of the world, Madison Rayne.
I gotta tell you, Mike, Madison Rayne, you know, when she first became knockout champ, I'm thinking, all right, how long is it gonna be until she, she drops the title? I mean, that was my honest opinion. I don't, she's looking good lately, man, and she's been, she is rapidly building credibility, like her attitude or not. How, cocky she is. She's kind of supercilious. Supercilious. She's super looking, obviously. But, do you agree or you don't agree? You have an opinion? You got something?
You were on such a roll with supercilious that I was just going to lay out.
Well, that's a change, but
now for something completely different.
Well, it's time to let the pigeons loose. The world is wondering what that means.
I've been asking for months.
Well, it's the old on a need-to-know basis type deal. That other cliche. I hit about 10 cliches tonight already. I might as well throw another one in there.
Over-under was 12 and a half.
Well, that's what it's about right there. The Knockout Championship.
And is tonight the night that Roxy finally takes that step to become singles champion here in TNA, singles knockout title holder? We showed you the non-title victory on Impact. It's got to give confidence to the challenger.
No, hold on just 1 second. Before this match gets started, before you ring that bell, I have something I would like to say. Roxy, I need you to explain something to me. Tell me why it is that for 2 years, the beautiful people have been dominating the knockouts division, while you have popped in and out of this company whenever you feel like it. Now, I don't necessarily have a problem with that.
In and out whenever she felt like
But
it.
this time, you popped in.
Popped in?
Okay, really? This time you popped in and you were handed a knockouts title shot. Now hold on a second.
That's not the case.
I'm coming out here. Shut up.
Yeah, let the girl talk. Shut up, for God's sakes. I agree with her.
I'm coming out here and I'm putting everything on the line. I've got everything to lose and nothing to gain. What about you, Roxy? What are you putting on the line tonight? You've got everything in the world to gain and nothing to lose. So, I was thinking, why don't you put up the same thing that Tara did? I'm putting my title on the line. Why don't you put your career on the line tonight, Roxy, huh? What do you say, huh? Are you scared? Are you scared, Roxy? Huh? Say something. All of your fans are waiting for an answer, Roxy. What do you say, huh? What do you say, Roxy? What do you have to say? The people want an answer.
You want my career? You have...
Whoa! Well, just as Roxy agrees to put her career at stake, Madison clocks her with the microphone and immediately goes for the pin.
So Roxy
has agreed to put her career at stake against the Knockouts Championship. And as you were talking earlier about that credibility factor,
Roxy split open.
Oh my God, she hit her right in the head with the microphone. And you see the blood flowing from the head of the hardcore knockout as Roxy tries to fight back. Yeah, certainly
I didn't none of us expected any of this to go down like this. Not just that Roxy split up, but her career now is on the line here.
Cut her with that double elbow and then right into the pin. And
why would Roxy accept that? I understand that Madison was putting her on the spot in front of the world here. Oh my God, Roxy's she is split open, obviously very, very badly.
And Madison Rayne referencing the situation last month at Sacrifice when she defeated Tara, forced her into retirement because of the pre-match stipulation as Roxy fights back through the blood flowing down her head and into her eyes.
Whoa, look at Roxy here. Watch out! Oh!
Cut off by the champ.
You can see the blood coming off of her all over the canvas there in the corner. Just pretty...
Yeah, very graphic situation
very graphic.
here.
Whoa. That's a career at stake. Oh my God.
Crowd here at Slammiversary certainly showing their support.
Mike, I don't remember, I mean, I hate that sound. I don't remember the last time. I've been in this business a long time that I've seen a female competitor bleed to this level here. This is
covered, her face completely covered in blood.
God, how do you not get behind Roxy here in this thing? I mean, Madison Rayne, pardon the pun, but she's been on a reign of terror here as the Knockouts champion.
Went for the kick, Roxy able to slide through. And then, Enziguri style, that one to the back of the head.
Yeah, that was nothing but straight up impact. You know, Roxy's got to try to capitalize on that.
And Taz, you just don't know how Roxy or any of the TNA Knockouts would react to this kind of a situation with the blood flowing down her face.
Well, I think
Roxy's gonna fire her up.
It looks like it is. Roxy's looking pretty impressive.
I think initially it was shock on the part of Roxy, but as this match progresses, as it goes on, I see her feed off of the chin.
No chin.
Voodoo pin. Get him. Wow.
That was a huge opportunity right there for Roxy. Madison, like her or not, able to kick out of that. It was impressive.
Move that gained her the non-title victory on Impact. She went to it one more time to try and win the Knockouts Championship tonight at Slammiversary, but Madison able to power out, and Roxy going to try and take her up again.
Oh, here it is. This beat Madison once before.
Now she's got her locked up.
She's got it. Bam. Oh, my God. The momentum just knocked Madison out of the ring.
And that may be lucky on Madison's part. The fact that the momentum enabled her to roll out to the floor. Because if she went straight down into the mat, Roxy would have had the chance to go for the immediate pin.
Well, you're exactly right, Mike. Luck was in the side, on the side of Madison, because that momentum definitely helped her.
Madison catches with the boot. Oh, man. What a shot by Madison. Top to the pin and the 3 count. Roxy's career is history just like that.
Is that it?
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match, and still TNA Knockouts champion, Madison Rayne.
Wow, this just all came down so quickly. It all just happened so fast here.
Just like that.
Madison Rayne says, I have everything to lose, nothing to gain. She convinces Roxy to put her career at stake in this match.
First Tara, now Roxy. Madison Rayne, our Knockouts champion. She's a career killer.
I mean, just when Roxy comes back after being sidelined for months, comes back to TNA, gets right into the title picture.
Oh my God. Not a happy anniversary for Roxy. It's a horrible turn of events for this young lady. She gets a head split open, loses her career here in TNA. Wow.
No sympathy from the TNA Knockout champ. Roxy waving to the crowd, and you see, overcome with emotion.
Like it or not, our TNA's Knockout champion is the real deal. What a physical match for the Knockouts Championship. We witness a career disappear.
You made it, you, Roxy! Now leave!
Ladies and gentlemen, up next tonight at Slammiversary, it's teacher versus student.
I need to ask you for your blessing on something tonight. I got offered a match. It's against you.
Check out the set on Jesse. You know what? Good.
Shot tonight, man.
We still got problems with the band. There's a lot of bad blood there. They're going to probably take it out on you.
Don't worry about those guys. We'll take care of them for you.
Did he say that they're going to take care of us?
You're overreacting.
I'm not overreacting to anything.
You're getting too big for your own head, kid. Slammiversary, Jesse. Teacher versus the student.
If you got a problem with me, have the balls to settle it like a man.
I brought you into this business, and I'm the one who could take you out. You are nothing more than a failure in the Navy. And after Slammiversary, you'll be a failure in the wrestling business also.
I'm going to have to, fight and stay in the middle of them because if not, it could be an ugly war, and that's one war I don't want to be caught up in.
You need to get your damn head on straight and leave that kid alone.
It's teacher versus student as Brother Ray takes on Jesse Neal.
Contest is a one-on-one grudge match. Introducing, first of all, weighing in at 231 pounds, Jesse Neal.
Have to disagree with Brother Ray. Anything but a failure in the Navy. We've documented the story on several occasions. Jesse just out of the Navy after surviving the suicide bombing of the USS Cole trains under Brother Ray, Brother Devon. And to bring that story full circle, the pact he made with his best friend who was killed in that attack, as Jesse Neal looks up to the heavens prior to tonight's match.
And now, introducing his opponent. He is one half of Team 3D, Brother Ray.
Well, I had a long talk earlier today, Mike, with Brother Ray, and my man is all business tonight. He said he wants to put some respect back into Jesse Neal. So,
and you know, when it comes to respect, what I see from Jesse Neal, the military background, he's been very respectful. I mean, very competitive as well.
Hold on. Listen, just relax for 1 second. Devon! Get out here! Hold on. Devon!
Maybe the most intriguing part of this story has been Devon's reaction, telling Brother Ray, get your head on straight and leave this kid alone.
Whoa.
And Shannon Moore, the other half of Ink Inc.
Chill out.
Making sure that he's here with Jesse.
Hold on. Shannon, I'm glad you're out here. Seriously. Because... Hold on. Listen. I owe everybody standing in the ring an apology. I owe you all an apology. I mean, Listen, Shannon, a couple of days ago, you said it best. I've been acting like a total bully and a total douchebag. And I deserve it. You know, me and you have been talking for the past couple of days, and you definitely talked some sense into me. Jesse, there is no reason for me to have treated you the way I have. It's obvious, Jesse, that you are doing exactly what me and Devon trained you to do. you're an up-and-coming great wrestler. You're a fighter, and it's obvious to me that every single one of the fans in TNA really love you, man. A couple days ago, I said some really bad things. I said that you were a failure in the Navy, and that is not true. You're not a failure. I just said that to be hurtful. You're a hero. You're a hero to a lot of people here. You're a hero to your best friend who died for you. Listen, I can't say it anymore. I apologize to you. I apologize to you. I apologize to all of the fans watching at home, and I apologize to all the people in the Impact Zone. I screwed up. I screwed up.
I guess this is what Bubba meant when he said when he told me he was going to teach this kid about respect. Bubba being bigger man here than I thought he would have been. I guess it's just a case of tough love. That's all we.
And Devon's role as peacemaker.
What about this match? We're supposed to have a match.
They're not going to take place tonight at Slammiversary. Devon as peacemaker, talking sense of the. Oh, God! Fell right into the trap to Jesse Neal. And check out the reaction from Devon. Oh, my God! Oh, it looked like kicked him right in the face.
Like Bubba told referee Stick Johnson to get Devon out of here.
That's what he just said. He said ring the bell, and he immediately goes on the attack, and then, you're right, he's telling the referee to get Devon out of here. It's unheard of.
Oh, Brother Ray just double-crossing everybody here.
I mean, the relationship between those two, nobody knows it like you, Taz.
No, look, hey, Brother Ray, Bubba and Brother Devon, inseparable. Lately they've been on a different page here because of their student Jesse Neal here. And, wow, just, man, I got to tell you, I got suckered into it too, and I know Brother Ray for a long time, and I never expected this.
God.
Oh, my God. Wow. Oh, man, that was nasty.
Yeah, the audio from that open hand slap tells more of a story than we can.
Well, I mean, look, Brother Ray feels or felt like he was disrespected by Jesse. Look, someone trains you. It's about respect, and you talked about the competitive juices of Jesse Neal. There's a fine line between being disrespectful and being competitive. I hate to say it. I don't know if you know, Mike.
And when you think back that it was Team 3D who taught him about that competitive spirit. I think it's a case where Brother Ray is looking at that competitive spirit, those juices, as being disrespectful, and he's making Jesse pay.
Well, basically, Brother Ray, I mean, he suckered Jesse big time in this match here. I mean, on the ramp with that attack, he sucker punched him. And to be honest, all respect to Jesse. I don't think Brother Ray needed to do that, or the way he started this match off here. He's got a huge size advantage and experience advantage, and he trained the kid. I mean, there's been, over the years, I mean, people look at Brother Ray as a bully. I mean, oh my God. You could see the welch.
Sure can. When he lifted his body up in the corner, did you see the discoloration?
On the side.
You can see it on his chest also.
Just hanging there. Anything that Brother Ray wants to do. Oh, man. Watch it. There go. Oh, my God. Just finish him already, Bubba. Just
he's defenseless on a move like that. And you said it best, Taz, watch your neck.
Your best friend's dog tags.
Oh my God. First, Brother Ray ripping off the dog tags. Oh. Enough. How many? God, go! You see Jesse's body's just welted up.
Is screaming out in pain with each one of these vicious and violent strikes and blows from Brother Ray.
So look at this. Look at Jesse's chest.
I mean, head to toe. Look at the inside of his leg.
Look at the left side of his ribs. Oh, red it is. But Jesse now showing a lot of intestinal fortitude here. He's trying to knock Brother Ray off.
Neal getting it rolling, running clothesline.
Can he get him down?
But just at that point in the match where you figured there was no way that Jesse Neal was ever going to be able to mount any kind of an offense here against Brother Ray. Takes the teacher down with the cross body.
Look at this.
Whoa! Belly to belly.
He might get him. I'll tell you what, I'm seeing a lot of Jesse Neal here. How tough is this kid? He sustained a world of punishment.
Look out. Oh, Bubba Bomb.
He's not done.
Yeah, if there was an inch of Jesse Neal's body that wasn't bruised, it's no longer the case.
Yeah, but
what the hell?
That's Tommy Dreamer. I'm seeing the game of violence.
Do you know about this, Taz?
I have no clue. What the hell is Dreamer doing here?
Jesse charged in at Brother Ray. Oh, senton splash off the ropes. Doesn't connect. There's the spear. Cover. 2. He did it.
The winner of the match, Jesse Neal.
Well, I think it's pretty safe to say that's a huge upset. Not only that, the shocking arrival of that man, Tommy Dreamer. Kind of that distraction. What, Brother Ray by surprise got him off his game, Mike.
Saw the eye contact made by Brother Ray and Tommy Dreamer when the crowd rose here at Slammiversary to greet the arrival of Tommy Dreamer. Brother Ray looks up into the crowd, sees Dreamer, and Jesse Neal takes advantage.
Well, let's take a look at this very, very physical contest. You know, Brother Ray at the beginning of this thing apologized to everyone, especially Jesse, and double-crossed not just Jesse, but Brother Ray double-crossing his own partner, Brother Devon, and then just let the beatdown begin. It was nothing but physical. Brother Ray, complete control, welting up the body, ripping off the dog tags of Jesse's best friend, his deceased friend, and that distraction, Jesse was able to take advantage of the shocking arrival of Tommy Dreamer here. Tommy Dreamer, I can't believe I'm saying that. And an upset victory, I think, for Jesse Neal.
Bruised and beaten from head to toe. But the student, Jesse Neal, beats the teacher as we send it to Christy.
Thanks, Mike. Wow, Tommy Dreamer in the Impact Zone. That is huge news. And speaking of huge news, Hernandez made his big return just this past week against former partner Matt Morgan. But I gotta say, Hernandez, you look incredible. And that can't be good news for Morgan, because tonight it's gonna be the two of you, one-on-one.
Morgan, for the past 3 months, I've been sitting at home with a herniated disc in my neck because of you. How do you think that made me feel? Watching each and every week, you make a joke of me, that tag belts, and the entire tag division.
Well, last Thursday, I got a small taste of my payback. And tonight, and for all these people in the Impact Zone, I'm going for the whole damn meal.
From here on in, we have 100% of our focus defending these tag team titles against anyone, anytime, hell, anywhere. We're damn sure gonna go down in the wrestling history books as the physically most dominating tag team of all time.
Hernandez and Morgan want to be the best. And at Destination X, I'm gonna ask for a title shot. For beer money.
Before you go out there and you put our titles on the line like that, we need to be on the same page.
It's pretty obvious to see that Hernandez and Matt Morgan are not on the same page. Hernandez and Matt Morgan retain, and I'm a little surprised. I didn't think that was going to go down like that.
Ow! The carbon footprint. Just moments after, Hernandez had defeated Beer Money to keep the gold. They're still TNA World Tag Team Champions, but he leaves Hernandez down after the carbon footprint.
Can you blame Hernandez for being this hot, this upset?
Well, the jealousy of the Blueprint Matt Morgan emerged. He is such an egomaniac, Taz. Blueprint's got him in his sights. Oh, God!
Mr. Hernandez, well, he'll be on the show for quite some time to come. We are the TNA Tag Team Champions. You're looking at them. Matt Morgan.
That Matt Morgan has got a very dangerous, violent side to him.
Here comes the Samoan submission machine. Muscle Buster, are you kidding? This guy's 7 foot tall. This guy's 300 pounds. God!
While the band picking after scraps, that Samoa Joe left behind and Matt Morgan, and we crown new tag team champions.
All we want to know, who's our partner, Slammiversary?
That's it. We've got a tag team partner for you. I know that's been a bit of a challenge for you lately. We've got it figured out. You're not going to have to wait for Slammiversary. Your rematch for the World Tag Team titles coming up next.
Super Mex is back.
What goes around comes around. He could have been the #1 or #2 contender. I'm just glad he's back.
Look at the power. Pure raw strength from Super Mex Hernandez.
I like what I see so much, brother. I got a little stroke around here, Taz and Mike. Those two are going to go at it. It's Slammiversary. I'm making that match right now.
The Blueprint Matt Morgan faces his former tag team partner Hernandez.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. About to make his way to the ring from Fairfield, Connecticut, the Blueprint Matt Morgan.
Matt Morgan in street clothes, wearing a neck brace. We saw it Thursday night on Impact. The return of Super Mex Hernandez and the destruction of the Blueprint Matt Morgan, and there's the after effects, Taz.
Well, absolutely. I mean, who knows what's going on in the neck area of Matt Morgan, showing the effects in a big way here. And, well, Matt Morgan, folks, he's supposed to compete here in a match exclusively made by Hulk Hogan this past Thursday on Impact. Well, as you said, Mike, the Blueprint, he's in street clothes and he can't even get in the ring, so is this match even going to go down?
It is with deep regret that I had to be the one. God, this is hard. To come out here and inform everybody that the Blueprint Matt Morgan will not be performing on tonight's pay-per-view. But don't thank me. Thank the animalistic, savage Hernandez
You rednecks would cheer. You would. For brutally jumping me from behind yet again and injuring my neck. Now, Mr. Referee, me being the blueprint of the perfect man, I'm always 2 steps ahead of the game. And what I have for you in my pocket is a signed, sealed, and delivered note from my physician stating that the blueprint Matt Morgan cannot and will not be performing tonight.
He's got a doctor's note? You freaking kidding me?
Read it and weep.
Hands it over to referee Brian Hebner.
What is this, high school?
And for all my millions of Blueprint fans out there, specifically, I know you spent your hard-earned money. Hell, you ordered this pay-per-view predicated on the fact that you would see me in action. And for that, I am most sorry. I'll be back. I'm a quick healer. I'm the Blueprint. Thank you.
Doctor's note. Alrighty then. Well, Matt Morgan, he didn't seem too sincere and genuine. What do you think, Mike?
Hands the doctor's note over to referee Brian Hebner. And then heading back up the ramp. I mean, you said it earlier, Taz. This is a match that was made Thursday night on Impact by none other than Hulk Hogan.
I think Matt Morgan better call his doctor back. He's gonna need another note.
And Supermax, who received that ringing endorsement from Hogan on Thursday night, I don't think he cares a damn about that doctor's note.
No, I don't think he cares about the doctor's note. I don't think Hernandez cares about the match. He's going right back to the neck, is Hernandez. Look at this. Well, history repeats itself just a couple days later.
And I know you had the chance to talk to Supermax Hernandez earlier today. He was pretty straightforward when it came to his goals in this match tonight.
He basically told me he's coming out here to maim and destroy Matt Morgan and could care less about winning, losing, whatever. He don't care.
In other words, not about wins, not about losses. At Slammiversary, it's all about retribution.
Yeah, redemption, retribution, revenge, any R word you want to say. All right, referee Brian Hebner trying to... Right, just stay right there, buddy. I don't...
sort of an aerial view for Brian Hebner. Blueprint favoring his neck. And, of course, Supermax Hernandez fell right into the trap. Oh, and then the discus clothesline outside by Morgan.
Yeah, you can just see hovering over Supermax, Matt Morgan. You know what? I mean, after we saw that physical, violent attack this past Thursday on Impact by Hernandez on Morgan, that neck, I don't know if the doctor's note was a hoax or what, but we know he's got to have some damage. Matt Morgan.
And as we watch the offense of the Blueprint Matt Morgan and see him focus on the upper body, on the neck of Hernandez, where you think back, surgically repaired neck, the herniated disc, the cervical damage to the neck that sidelined him for 3 months after that carbon footprint of the Blueprint Matt Morgan as he's squashed the head of Hernandez right into the steel post on Impact.
And you can see Matt Morgan still has that swagger about him, that conceit. Looked like Hernandez was grabbing at his bicep. Good way to tear a bicep, hitting that steel post. I guess Morgan wants to count out victory.
Buying into his neck as he went to raise his hand in victory? I didn't think so.
No, I'm not buying into it. I'm not. I don't know why Matt Morgan is not looking out there and getting all over Supermax.
Count was at 8. I think he wanted the easy way out. I think he wanted that count-out victory.
Yeah, you got to assume that Morgan thought that Hernandez was done and was going to stay out there.
Wow, rapid-fire elbows, the rights and the lefts.
Well, that's vintage Matt Morgan.
Oh! Stacks up his former tag team champion partner in the corner. Drops him down. Side slam into the pin. Sense there that the blueprint Matt Morgan surprised that he didn't get the easy 3 count.
Yeah, wasted
on Supermax, and now look at this.
Yeah, Matt Morgan wasted a lot of time, and sometimes that cocky attitude that Matt Morgan has can really affect him in a negative way. But right now, it's not. It's helping him in a positive way. Except for that right there. Here he comes.
Like a freight train. Big clothesline. It takes down Morgan. Hernandez at him with the shoulder block, sends him all the way across the ring.
Look at Hernandez, too. He looks phenomenal. We said it on Thursday night. Seemed to cut a couple of pounds. My man is shredded. Speaking of shredding that shirt off of Morgan's body. Yep, right back to that neck.
Gonna wrap it around his neck one more time.
Got his arm trapped in there. I don't think that's gonna help choke him out. I don't think Hernandez realizes that Hernandez's wrist was trapped in there. Morgan trying to block it. Was trying to.
But the bad blood between these two has been evident since Thursday night on Impact. And amped up once again tonight at Slammiversary.
I don't think Hernandez cares. The referee's trying his best to stop him.
Yeah. Whoa. Yeah, you said earlier, not about wins or losses. All about redemption as he tosses Brian Hebner across the ring and is going to get disqualified.
Again, you can see Hernandez, he don't care.
In pursuit of the blueprint. Clocked him from behind.
And look at it. Oh! Hernandez lower back of Morgan, driven it to the corner of the apron. Oh, wait a minute, Mike, look at this. Look at this.
Sizing him up, just like Morgan did.
Oh! The referee caught the bullet, man. Brian Hebner. That was nasty. Morgan just bailing.
Witnessed the concern on the face of Hernandez as I couldn't put it better. Just bailing is right.
Yeah, referee Brian Hebner. And that's Earl. That's a senior official.
That's his dad. That's his dad, senior official here in TNA. Earl Hebner coming out to check on the condition of his son Brian.
Could you tell where he got caught? I couldn't. Did he catch him in the head?
He got caught right in the path. This is what it looked like, that redemption that Hernandez was talking about.
Well, you know, I mean, Brian is not a big guy by any stretch, and Hernandez just a massive, powerful machine, and not even a grazing blow is enough to really. Jeez. It looks like he got caught. It looks like he got caught in his rib, Mike.
And we thought he was going to get that redemption in the same way that he was taken out. Instead, the blow knocks out referee Brian Hebner as we send it to Christy with Hulk Hogan.
Thank you, Mike, and thank you, Hulk Hogan, for offering your perspective on the TNA World Heavyweight Championship match tonight. Now, we got Eric Bischoff's thoughts earlier on the whole Sting RVD situation. What's your opinion?
Well, this thing's way beyond perspective. I mean, this is to a fever pitch now. You know, I got to look at it both ways. You know, there's Hulk Hogan, the TNA executive, big deal. And then there's Hulk Hogan, the ex-wrestler. You know, big deal. Sting, you're the only deal going on, brother. I'm biased now. I'm looking at you like Hulk Hogan, the wrestler, brother. Forget TNA, the executive. What you've done has gone way beyond the line. You know, everybody wants the TNA title. All of us do. But you know, it's more than that. That's like the tip of the iceberg with you, Sting. You're unpredictable. You're evil, brother. You're hitting from all sides. You're hitting below the belt, brother. And what you did to Jeff Jarrett, you really crossed the line. You know, Chris, you might not understand this, but there's an unwritten code of ethics, you know, some bylaws that wrestlers live by. And we have to make a living for our family. No one should ever try to destroy a man's career, wrench his arm out of his socket over and over, try to rip it off his body. Well, you know, RVD is one heck of a champion. And if there's one guy that can hold his own, that's RVD. He's one of the greatest I've ever seen. But in this case, as hard as Sting's running, my eyes are going to be on him, and the whole world is going to be on you, Sting. And I guarantee you, Christy, we're not going to see a repeat of what happened last month with Jeff Jarrett.
The following contest is the Monsters Ball. Introducing, first of all, representing London, England, accompanied to the ring by Chelsea, Desmond Wolf.
Well, Wolf's got his girl back.
You'll recall this situation between Desmond Wolf and Abyss all started with the false accusations of assault.
Touching a lady like this.
Yeah, a scheme concocted by Desmond Wolf. Abyss claimed the services of Chelsea for the 30 days with the victory at Sacrifice. And then on impact, Desmond Wolf tried to destroy Abyss using that broken glass to slice open his arm. Tonight, what better way to settle it than the Monsters Ball?
Well, Wolf is ruthless, and he better be in this match. He's going to need to be.
And now, introducing his opponent, weighing in excess of 350 pounds, the Monster Abyss!
Well, talk about somebody being in their realm in a match with a stipulation, a Monsters Ball match. I'll tell you what, I think Abyss's life has been a Monsters Ball. Anything goes, right? Just do whatever you gotta do. Go crazy.
Weapons not only allowed, they're encouraged. And Abyss, well, he's got the height advantage, size advantage, weight advantage, and that inherent advantage of the Monsters Ball rules as Desmond swinging wildly with the kendo stick. And here we go. Let's turn him loose.
Well, Desmond Wolf is going to have to be real clever in this match. Oh, man, it just back of his head hit that kendo stick that was laying in the middle of the ring. The stick that Wolf swung. All legal here. Oh!
As Abyss goes to use the steel chair as a weapon. Desmond able to get the boot right into the chair, which ends up in the face of the monster Abyss. And we've detailed for you over the course of the past few months how the confidence level of Abyss rose to levels unseen here in TNA. Once Hulk Hogan handed over the Hall of Fame ring. Oh! As Desmond Wolf comes back with the kendo stick shot right into the midsection, and Abyss able to turn it around on Desmond, goes for the float over, not gonna work.
Yeah, Desmond really has to be careful not to make mistakes here. Well, I didn't think he was gonna win the match on a side slam, but it was smart by Abyss to try. Even though Abyss is massive, but you're right. Since the alignment of Hulk Hogan and the endorsement by the Hulkster with Abyss, it's given a certain confidence to Abyss. Speaking of confidence, a bed with barbed wire is all about being confident for Abyss. He loves violence, loves destruction.
He loves the Monsters Ball match. And you're right, that level of confidence will rise when you have access to that barbed wire board.
What was it like all the time that, Chelsea had to spend with Abyss? That had to be horrible for her, I'm telling you. Oh my God, look at this. Who's gonna hit that thing first? That's what I'm wondering.
The blows, the strikes by Desmond Wolfe. Thought he was gonna try and put Abyss back first into the barbed wire. Oh, that time he sidesteps the charging Desmond, who goes head and face first right directly into the chair.
Yeah, Wolfe got shot with his own gun. Wolfe set that chair up in between the top and second rope and got bit with it, big time. Look at Abyss, these trash cans. Imagine him coming to pick the garbage up at your house. That'd be nice.
2 of the top 10 contenders in the TNA rankings, with Desmond Wolfe at 7, Monster Abyss at 5. And as Abyss comes back in, left himself open for the shot from Desmond.
Yeah, both these men that you pointed out, Mike, high in the rank in our top 10 contenders, and go!
We'll have
look at the trash can.
That trash can just dented in from the first blow and then back at him a second time. Look at that. It just caved it in on both sides.
That was a Abyss's skull that contorted that trash can. I couldn't quite get what Wolfe was saying to Chelsea. Chelsea looks appalled.
Well, Wolfe looking into the trash can and a stuffed animal wrapped in barbed wire.
It's actually a teddy bear. It's a hardcore teddy bear.
I'm glad you're here to ID that.
Well, that barbed wire was around that teddy bear right into the abdomen of Abyss.
Yes, Abyss stacked him up and nailed him in the corner. And now we know, as he approaches Chelsea and extends the barbed wire teddy bear.
Yeah, that's a barbed wire teddy bear.
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Well, whenever Abyss is involved, it gets odd and Well, if anybody's followed Abyss's career, so for me to say, you know what's in that sack. Be a little thumbtack action.
Is it going to be the thumbtacks?
It's gotta be. It's gotta be. No. Oh, man.
Not the thumbtacks, Taz. This time, the shards of broken glass.
Look at the horror on Wolfe's face. Get her out of here. I didn't sign up for this.
That's what I thought he said. What do you mean you didn't sign up for this? You signed for a Monsters Ball match.
What does he think this is, the Cub Scouts? This is a match. Oh, my God. You could just see.
Monster in pursuit, and Desmond Wolfe using Chelsea as a human shield. Oh, and then he just rammed and jammed the kendo stick into Abyss and caught him across the back.
Now, Wolfe trying to choke out Abyss with the kendo stick. Right over here to our right, Mike.
Coming by the broadcast table over here is... Oh.
Yeah, stay down there.
Wait a minute.
Wolfe's gonna take his head off, Mike. Look at this! Got goozled!
Abyss!
Oh my God!
Wait. He put him right through the ramp down here in front of the broadcast table. The impact of the slam.
This whole platform that we're on just shook.
Referee Andrew Thomas checking on the condition of Desmond Wolfe.
Oh my God, look at his bodies.
And Abyss looked up here at you and I and said, I got him.
Yeah, I think you got him, Abyss. I think you definitely got control. And again, this is all legal. Monster's ball. And... oh my God, Wolf.
He's dragging him.
Hardly stand.
Brings Desmond Wolf back towards the ring.
That's got to be it, right?
Desmond Wolf, that's just a reaction move, I guess.
That had
I think
to just
that's
be
absolute reaction, just to reach out and touch the ropes at that point.
That hole is massive below this announce desk on that little stage there. And oh no. I was going to say Abyss isn't done. I think Abyss is just getting started.
Wolf trying to crawl away. Good luck with that.
Oh, look at Abyss is grabbing that barbed wire with his hands. Oh no, Mike, you don't.
He's going to position Desmond Wolf up in the corner, up in the top turnbuckle.
We might witness the complete destruction of Desmond Wolf by the Monster Abyss on our 8th anniversary. There's a superplex coming through barbed wire, folks. Oh, maybe not. Look at Wolf.
Desmond Wolf fighting off the Monster Abyss.
Oh, my God.
Oh! He bombed him. 6'8", 350 pounds of Abyss. Back first directly into the barbed wire. You can see how it sliced open the arm.
That was
Watch this coming.
Look at Abyss's arms all sliced up.
God.
That was nuts. Oh, my God. Oh.
This is the violence that you see in a Monsters Ball match.
I didn't know if Wolf could step up to this level of being ruthless, but he sure as hell is.
Just amazing the recovery that we've seen from Desmond Wolf. And then the ability to turn it up, to turn that violence up here against Abyss.
Oh, look at Abyss, Mike.
Gotta go up. Oh, shock treatment backbreaker. Gets two.
Both men just brutalizing each other in this Monsters Ball match. Look at the arms of Abyss. Split open all over the place from that barbed wire. Now Abyss wants to put Wolf right into that shattered up glass.
What do you say about bad intentions?
Well, they're on the... oh, wait a minute. Oh!
Well, Wolf had an answer that time.
Going back to the kendo stick. It's worked for Wolf thus far.
Had to twist his arm, and it caught him with the knee, and then a shot across the back.
Oh my God, face first! Oh. Chelsea is just can't believe what she's witnessing. Neither can I.
Well, you can see some of the fans at ringside looking away because of the violent nature.
It's very
graphic. Match. It's so graphic with the glass now.
That's
here's
just
two.
End it.
Wow.
Look at that. Oh my God.
What a shot.
Looks like a murder scene. Tell you what, not a fun way to spend the Sunday night if you're a bitch right about now. Wolf wants to push. You hear him screaming at Chelsea.
Listen to me.
So, as I recall at Sacrifice, he had the brass knucks.
Where's the knuckles?
Where's the knuckles?
Where's the knuckles? Where are the knuckles?
There's the knuckles.
Whoa! wait a minute! Oh my God!
Black hole slam! The winner of the match, the Monster Abyss! Did you ever expect that reaction from Chelsea?
No! Chelsea? She just chucked the nuts, the brass knuckles, to Abyss!
Chuck the nuts!
What?
The reaction from Chelsea that we never anticipated.
I'm telling you, Wolf was expecting those brass nuts to be in that purse. You can see how livid he was.
And you see him pointing to the Hulk Hogan Hall of Fame ring.
Well, we gotta take another look here.
Violent, what a brutal spectacle this Monsters Ball was as we relive the violence.
Well, you want some physicality and some smash mouth. This Monsters Ball match did not disappoint. I was insane. These men just ripping each other's bodies apart. But at the end of the day, the key player in this thing, Mike, was Chelsea.
Listen to me.
See, right here, Wolf was expecting the brass knucks in it. The brass knucks were chucked with a perfect pass to Abyss. After a black hole slam, Abyss leads with the victory. I got a funny feeling he might even leave with the girl.
Abyss gains the win in his signature Monsters Ball match. Still surprised about Chelsea's reactions as we send it to Christy Hemme.
She still got the teddy bear.
Thanks, Mike. RVD, we've already heard from Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff about your match tonight. The internet is buzzing, and we can all feel the anticipation of the Impact Zone tonight. So I think what everybody wants to know is what is going through the mind of the champion.
Christy, this is a huge night for me. I got to win this match, not just for me, and not just to remain TNA champion for RVD, but for all the fans of TNA. I said before it'd be a dark day if Sting won this belt. And I told you I wasn't going to let Sting's games get in my mind. But I got to tell you, after what he did Thursday, taking the belt, stealing it, and vandalizing it, I care a little bit about that. Now, yes, we heard from Hogan and Bischoff talking about Sting's agenda. So what? I don't care about Sting's agenda. I care about RVD's agenda. And Sting should too, because here's what I'm going to do. One thing that's important to me is that I'm at my best. And guess what, Christy? Good news, I'm at my best. That's bad news for everyone else. And tonight, it's bad news for Sting. You're right, Stinger. It's showtime, all right. It's the whole effing showtime.
To this day, the Nature Boy Ric Flair still feels disrespected by Jay Lethal.
To be the man, you've got to beat the man. Imitation is not the greatest form of flattery when you're trying to be Ric Flair. There's only one.
I never thought for a single second that Ric Flair would even be the slightest bit upset at what I did, you know?
Many of TNA's younger generation feel the need to live up to the high expectations set by the Nature Boy.
I just gotta thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the faith you've had in me the last couple weeks, man. It's been awesome.
I told you, man. We're connected.
I just gotta thank you for this awesome watch, man. This is great. I've never had anything like this, man. That is awesome.
AJ wins for the springboard. Kazarian sort of backed up into the ropes. But just roll out some of Lethal stop him down. He just beat AJ Styles. Closing out the match. Jay Lethal.
I gave you the gift of being Ric Flair's protege. You got beat by Jay Lethal.
I feel like I need to make an example of Jay Lethal because he has mocked one of the legends in our sport. I'm trying to prove to Ric Flair that I am great, that I'm one of the greatest wrestlers he's ever seen.
A loss to Lethal, what would it mean to AJ? Time off. Home. On the couch. That's how bad it would be.
To capture a windfall over AJ Styles would almost show Ric Flair that, you know, I respect you a great deal, but I'm no longer that little kid watching him on my television in my living room. I respect you as much as anybody can respect one human being, but I'm a man now.
The phenomenal AJ Styles will take on Jay Lethal in a match that's more about pride, honor, and respect than winning or losing.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing at this time, from Gainesville, Georgia, weighing in at 228 pounds, he is the phenomenal AJ Styles.
Well, this relationship between the phenomenal AJ Styles, his advisor, the Nature Boy Ric Flair, it's been quite a roller coaster ride as of late, Taz.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, kind of a struggle thing going on here about respect, about living up to the level of excellence that Ric Flair wants. Ric Flair wants to be surrounded by winners, by champions. That's what Flair is used to. And in my view, that's what that man is, AJ Styles. But it seems like AJ's trying to prove himself to Flair on a constant basis.
And now, introducing his opponent, from Elizabeth, New Jersey, weighing in at 222 pounds, Jay Lethal.
Well, talk about a young athlete, a young TNA wrestler that's really been on an awesome road.
That's Jay Lethal. From under the radar to through the roof here in TNA.
Very well said.
And quite honestly, he's got the passion and he's got the charisma to go along with the in-ring ability. You talked about how this is a proving ground for AJ Styles. Trying to prove himself to Ric Flair. There's no question that that's part of the equation. But I think at the same time, as we heard from Jay Lethal, the pre-match comments, he wants to prove to Flair and he wants to prove to the world that he's no longer a kid, but that he's a man.
Well, the opportunity is right in front of Lethal. He's got to stay focused, in my view. Lethal's got to stay focused. Otherwise, from where I sit, AJ Styles will catch him and beat him quick. Because AJ's that good. AJ is a thoroughbred. He's a cocksure athlete. The longest reigning TNA champion in this company's history. And on tonight, our anniversary, 8-year anniversary, and AJ, one of the pioneers from the foundation of this company. I think Styles is ready to go. Lethal better be.
One of the individuals that Taz paid tribute to at the top of this Slammiversary broadcast early on, talking about the history, the 8 years of this TNA organization. And tonight, our 8-year anniversary event, Slammiversary, it's proving ground time for the #2 ranked phenomenal AJ Styles and Jay Lethal.
Well, Jay Lethal, very elusive. And, he's got a lot of resiliency and a lot of athletic ability. And once Lethal gets rolling, he's got a victory already on AJ, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that right there, that's got to build the man's confidence. I'm sorry.
Victorious, I was going to say, in the three-way matchup involving AJ and Kazarian. But he pinned AJ Styles in that match.
Correct, the Mundo. Right now, both men are jockeying out of a collar and elbow tie-up. Oh, man.
Oh, the tribute to the Nature Boy with the knife edge is answered with the open hand slap of Jay Lethal.
Lethal might have drilled AJ right in the button. That pompousness of AJ came out for a moment, then he kind of fell out of the ring.
It's about knocked the pompousness right out of him.
Looked like you were late at night in a hotel bar.
Wasn't that late.
Well, that was smart for Jay Lethal not to go out after AJ Styles. You got the Nature Boy Ric Flair roaming around out there. That's a legend. Dirtiest player in the game sitting out there. Got to be careful.
What about Flair at ringside? What does that do to the pressure-packed situation for both of these individuals?
My honest opinion, I think there's more pressure on AJ Styles. I really do. I think that Jay Lethal will stay in his game. Hopefully he can for himself. Like I said at the top of this match, it almost seems like AJ's constantly trying to prove himself to Ric Flair. Right now, AJ's got to prove that he can get out of his head scissors by Jay Lethal.
You would anticipate with Flair looking on, both of these men would take it up a notch.
Very nice way to counter out.
Beautiful bridge move by Lethal. AJ tries to take advantage of it, manipulating the headlock to a side headlock.
That's what you want to do if you're Lethal. Pull a man, suck him into you a little bit to relieve the pressure on your head. Oh, wow, right in the knee. That was nasty. That might have hyperextended Lethal's knee. That was pretty ugly right there.
That was a bad collision, wasn't it, with that shot to the knee?
Yeah, that was awkward. Oh! That's a good way to swell up an areola.
Styles slides through, but AJ comes right back. AJ with the chops and going to try and follow up the edge that he has as Lethal counters and fires him into the corner.
Maybe a little monkey flip. Oh, look at a counter by Styles.
Yeah, the way that he reacts, lands on his feet. But then the hip toss turns into the cartwheel, and then the drop kick from in close.
Still grabbing at the knee for a moment. Jay Lethal was.
And you saw that Lethal there was momentarily distracted as Flair was hollering in. It cost Lethal 3 or 4 seconds in going for the pin attempt.
Well, that's that little, distraction by the Nature Boy. That's the stuff that Lethal's got to be careful of as he peels off an excellent snap suplex.
And how about AJ powering out even before the referee, Earl Hebner, could make the count.
Yeah, well, AJ not wanting to show any weakness to Jay Lethal.
Or Ric Flair.
Good point.
Match turns in the favor of Jay Lethal.
I like how Lethal taking his time, picking his spots.
Hits the backbreaker and gets a near fall.
Very smart. For Lethal not to rush into nothing.
Wow, what a beautiful shot that was. Yep. The view over the shoulder of Ric Flair, as you could see the eye contact that was made between Flair and Lethal.
Look at that, head scissors. Excellently done. And Lethal's on the, looks like he's gonna be on the run. You can see him cooking it up, and here we go, whoa. Landing on his feet.
Styles escapes back into the ring and then attacks immediately with the running elbow. Sets up for the slingshot. Lands on the apron as Lethal backs away. Oh, AJ went for the kick and paid the price.
Like AJ maybe landed on his head or his shoulder. Right on the apron. Again, Lethal not rushing into nothing. Gotta be careful with Flair. You don't want to give that advantage, if you're Lethal to AJ Styles by letting AJ utilize Ric Flair.
Lethal drags Styles back into the ring, but AJ comes back fighting.
Yeah, nothing fancy fighting. Nothing fancy about that. He's just choking him with 2 hands. Right across the neck, very blatantly done.
And we saw AJ outside, and I think Lethal even thought that he had AJ where he wanted him, but that wasn't the case. Oh, Lethal goes to float over and ends up getting crotched on the top rope by AJ.
Man, Lethal just it made no noise, but it had to hurt like hell. Exemplify that AJ Styles is the quintessential blue chipper. I don't know what does. Did you see that athleticism by Styles?
Is he and Lethal
was awesome.
Yeah, they were playing that game of can you top this up on the top rope.
I think AJ might have won that one.
I think he did.
Left a vertical base foot right in the face of Styles. Lethal.
He may have won that one, but the key was he didn't get the 3 count.
Yeah, it was enough to wear down Jay Lethal and get this momentum going now in the side of AJ.
Styles drops the knee, goes for the follow pin. Referee Hebner there to count 2. As AJ senses that he, for a moment there, had Lethal where he wants it. But the quick burst of speed and energy and the shoulder blocks in the corner turn it around in Lethal's favor.
Well, Jay Lethal realized he had that sense of urgency that the tide was turning the wrong way for him. And he dug deep, was able to, slow down a little bit. AJ Styles. Oh, that's a haymaker.
Oh, the shots from Lethal just echoing throughout the impact zone.
Oh! That might be it. Get that cover, kid. Get it.
Lethal on top for the pin, and
again,
Styles able to power out.
All right, kicked out real quick too, Mike. Real quick kick out by AJ.
There's something about those quick kickouts that send a message, and boy, talking about sending a message, nothing like dropping your opponent directly on the back of his head.
More like driving your opponent on the back of his head. That back suplex.
Ferocity of the suplex as he powered him down. And Lethal's head bounces off the canvas, and confidence level rises in AJ as he senses that once again he's got Lethal on the defensive here. Every time AJ turns the match where it looks like it's in his favor, Lethal's had that quick burst to turn it back around, but this time might be the exception.
Well, being a... Uh-oh, wait a minute. Yeah. You kind of knew it was a matter of time before Ric Flair got involved here.
Lethal tossed at the feet of the Nature Boy.
Loads.
Takes the sports coat off, wraps it around the neck of Lethal behind the back of the referee, who's being talked to and distracted by Styles.
Loads of disdain from Flair towards Lethal. Flair feeling like Jay Lethal disrespectful and mocking him and imitating him. I don't know if it's really that. More of Jay Lethal just having fun and showing his charisma and in a weird way showing respect. Oh!
And Flair reads that as total disrespect. He certainly doesn't read it as honoring his legendary status in this business.
Back to grounding now. Grounding Jay Lethal. Keeping his offense on the mat where I think AJ has the advantage. And for a bulk of this match, even though Jay Lethal's shown the resiliency, the toughness in the heart, Mike, I don't know about you, but I think AJ, he's getting more points in this match if you're scoring points. But we're not scoring points.
Not scoring points in professional wrestling. It's pins or submission to decide this, as Lethal's able to get back up to his feet. Going to try and get things rolling with those elbows that are directed into the midsection of the Phenomenal One. 3-4 shots, but then AJ is right there with a big elbow to the back of the head.
And to point out the point of the elbow, even though there's a pad, an elbow pad on AJ, right to the back of the skull of Jay Lethal. Look at that handspring. Look at that! Oh!
Springing back. Into an elbow right on target.
Shades of the Great Muta. You remember him, right?
Oh, indeed. Don't think Lethal's got the green mist, but he sure hit him with that Great Muta style move off the ropes.
Well, might be the turning point in the matchup here for both athletes. And she's smart. That's that experience of AJ grabbing a front headlock, but wow, had the wherewithal, did Lethal to get out. But back to it goes Styles. Oh! Oh!
And again, AJ with the front face lock, and every time that he goes for that, Lethal has a move or a strike to counter. Now the running elbows.
Jay Lethal now starting to build the momentum he needs.
Oh! Momentum of AJ stopped by the big boot. Lethal from the middle rope.
Oh my God! That jumping leg lariat off the second rope. Right across the face.
Not only the blow from Lethal, but the fact that AJ was charging at him at the same time.
He's not done. Look at that moonsault.
Yeah, moonsault into a cross body block for 2.
Like that cover that Jay Lethal went for, trying to...
tired. He's tired.
Yeah, Flair saying that Jay Lethal's tired. Oh, that might go the other way around now. Oh, man. But both these guys might be sucking some wind.
That hasn't slowed him down. Corner drop kick.
Oh,
Lethal combination.
Oh, my God.
Gonna roll him over. Gonna try and get the pin here on AJ. Oh, that was close.
Barely AJ was able to just lift his shoulder off the canvas. Jay Lethal, when he wants to be, is all business, I'm telling you. Despite the jocularity and the fun that he has and the shenanigans, when it's go time, he goes.
Game face on for Lethal. Slingshot in. AJ saw it coming. AJ was prepared. And AJ drops him across the knee. As Flair looks on, it counts from ringside. Nope.
Well, there's no love lost between those two men right there.
Quite a history between Ric Flair and Earl Hebner. Flair upset at the cadence of the count from Hebner, but it was right on the money. It was a perfect count by Earl.
Well, watching Billy Martin back in the days with umpires. Showing my age.
We'll give you a free pass on Billy Martin. Oh, that elevates AJ up into the air.
Got him, baby. That's it.
Cover.
Got him. Oh. Whew, man, that was something. That cutter out of nowhere. AJ Styles looked like he don't even know what hit him.
Sense concern in the way that Ric Flair's reacting is...
That LePage is the dirtiest player in the book.
Flair playbook enables him then to follow up with a double leg. And speaking of the Flair playbook...
Yeah, you're not kidding.
Doesn't get any more Flair playbook than figure four, does it?
That bad boy is locked in big time.
Overhead camera shot shows the ring positioning, and it looks pretty darn good for AJ here.
Flat in the middle of the ring right here. Jay Lethal's got to try and do what he's doing. Scoot to that rope or turn to your belly.
Those are the options to try and get a break, and it's the rope break this time that comes into play. You wonder about that figure four leg lock. If as this match progresses, it may hurt Lethal's ability to connect with a high-risk move.
Correct, and the hold, the figure four leg lock, when applied properly, does not need to be on long. 2 inches, look at that brain buster.
Right on his head. Man. This should do it.
Shades of the great Arn Anderson right there of the original Four Horsemen.
The vicious brain buster, and well, I thought that was going to gain him the 3 count. It certainly has put Lethal in a position where it's going to be difficult for him to either fight back or get the offense rolling as AJ. Looks like he's going to try and take him up for the Styles clash.
Look at a little counter. What?
Lethal instead.
Oh, a release dragon suplex.
Full Nelson tosses him overhead. Pin and.
Well, good thing Flair cheated because AJ was done. That release dragon suplex. Sick.
Flair, the difference maker. Lethal should have gotten the 3 count right there. Flair up on the apron as Lethal looks him right in the eye and then drops down into the figure four. Of all things, against AJ.
Right in the face of Flair, and more importantly, in the face of his opponent, AJ Styles.
Saw it applied by Styles minutes ago.
Ric Flair is hot right now.
Thought those impressions made Flair hot, got under his skin. What do you think about Flair looking on as Lethal tries to beat his man AJ with the figure four, and AJ reaching out and makes the ropes.
Excellent match thus far between Lethal and Styles. Backbreaker.
Motions to the corner like he's going to go high risk.
Oh, yeah, Jay Lethal, he can do some damage from the tippy top rope. Oh! Miss on the elbow.
Yeah, went for that big elbow drop off the top, but AJ was able to roll just at the last split second and then connect with the shot that comes from out of nowhere. Taz calls it right. The Pele-style kick.
Well, it's World Cup season. Might as well do it now, right?
It's that time of year. AJ still showing the effects of the figure four.
Oh, look at AJ.
As you saw that he had a hard time making it up into the corner, and then he ends up actually dropping down and hitting his face in the corner.
Couldn't put weight on his knee, it looked like. Mike, because of the figure four, I guess, and that slowed AJ. That's still slowing him down a bit. Oh, God. Oh, look at this. Some Northern Lights. He's got him.
Got the win. The winner of the match, Jay Lethal.
Good God almighty. Jay Lethal did it again. Another victory. But in a one-on-one match against Styles.
And he just beat the number 2 man, AJ Styles, in the TNA Top 10.
And I'm telling you, the reason why it happened, the figure four. The figure four. Ric Flair's figure four by Jay Lethal on AJ. Screwed AJ up. He couldn't climb the ropes as quick-footed as normal. Slowed him down. Lethal capitalizes.
And Jay Lethal just showed Ric Flair, and he just showed the world he's no longer a kid. He's a man that proved himself with a win over AJ Styles with Ric Flair at ringside.
Jay Lethal is a player. Believe it. Flair is gonna be fuming.
Oh, can't wait to see the new rankings that are going to come out this Thursday night on Impact.
There's Kazarian now, Mike.
As Flair dresses down AJ, and you know that Ric's certainly unhappy that Lethal defeated his man Styles. Well, Kazarian, who's been fighting for the affection of Ric Flair, the approval of Flair with AJ, comes out here to calm him down.
It's all right.
Well, you say he just needs to regroup and go away? What he said?
That's...
This is the flip.
Well, you know, a victory like that from Lethal, who Flair hates, on AJ Styles, Flair's prime pupil, that's got to be humiliating to Ric Flair.
Flair, Kazarian exit as we send it to Christie in the back.
Boo! Sorry, Mike, but I took a liberty. And I sent Christie away because apparently I'm a dangerous man to be around. Tonight I'm going to cover a lot of ground in my war against Hogan and Bischoff. When the icon Sting takes the world title from the pawn, Rob Van Dam, and when that happens, I remind you again that the veil will be lifted off everyone's eyes around here. Some men want to rule the world. Some men want to make it a better place. Some men just want to watch it burn. Which man do you think that I am, Robbie?
You're in a bad spot. You backed yourself into a corner. You're in the middle now. You know what? Now everybody hates you. The good guys, the bad guys, the heels, the baby faces, they all hate you, brother. You need to figure out what you want, because if you keep doing what you're doing, your name is not going to exist around here.
Jeff Hardy, Mike, Swanton!
Bam! In the end, it's the charismatic enigma, Jeff Hardy, who is victorious.
Whoa, wait.
Look out, Jeff. Eye to eye, face to face. What? Jeff Hardy declines the handshake attempt of Mr. Anderson.
I'm trying to do the right thing. I know Jeff's not going to believe me. I know the fans probably aren't going to believe me, but I'm serious when I tell you that when I extended my hand to Jeff, I meant it.
What the hell? Mr. Anderson just hit a scorpion death drop on Sting. Hardy wins because of Mr. Anderson? Why would one of the most hated men in wrestling go out of his way to help Jeff Hardy?
Jeff, maybe I did that because I'm an asshole.
Taz, what's your read on Anderson and Jeff Hardy?
You can't put your finger on anything either of those guys say or do, because they're both outlandish in their own way.
Whoa!
Well, yeah. Well, the numbers game obviously catching up to Mr. Anderson.
And Jeff Hardy flying down the ramp with the steel chair.
To return the favor to Mr. Anderson.
Hardy extends the hand this time. We've seen this brewing for several weeks.
TNA's newest BFFs. What makes you think that you could even step in the same ring as Beer Money at Slammiversary?
Well, come Slammiversary, Beer Money is going to prove to the world why we are the greatest tag team in the world.
And we will beat the living hell out of Jeff Hardy and Mr. Anderson.
Which tag team will stand tall on the biggest pay-per-view of the summer? Beer Money Inc. prepares for tag team war against Mr. Anderson and the charismatic enigma Jeff Hardy.
I'm standing by with Jeff Hardy and Mr. Henderson. Now, as we just saw, this match coming up next has been brewing for weeks, but what I really want to know is how do the two of you feel going into the ring tonight as a very brand new tag team against one of the world's most accomplished tag teams today?
I think we feel great. And you know, Beer Money, they talk about being a team, they're partners, and they had the nerve to say that a former partner of mine carried me. Nobody carries Jeff Hardy.
Jeff, hey, we got bigger fish to fry, man. We don't have a name. You know, I mean, every good tag team has a name. Every you know that. I mean, even she knows that. So what do you get when you cross enigma with an asshole?
Charismatic assholes.
How about assholes of the night?
Creatures of the assholes.
No. I got it. The enigmatic asshole.
Whoa, yeah, that's it.
I love enigmatic.
Yes,
that is great.
Going with that one. Which means that tonight, Beer Money is going to suffer defeat at the hands of the newly formed tag team, the Enigmatic Assholes. Wait for it. Wait for it. Assholes!
We are.
The following contest is tag team action. Introducing, first of all, they are the team of the Tennessee Cowboy, James Storm, and Robert Roode. They are Beer Money.
Taz, earlier today, you and I discussed it. The eight-year history. Yeah, look out for that Boozer Cruiser. The 8-year history of TNA, talking about teams, tag teams that were the cornerstones of this tag team division. And I think you look back over that 8 years, and well, Team 3D comes to mind. Right. But then there's Beer Money Incorporated right here. James Storm, Robert Roode.
Oh, world renowned, no doubt about it. You ain't gonna find too many teams in the world ever, maybe ever again, who knows? Damn Beer Money, one of my favorite teams of all time. And I like beer.
And money.
Ladies and gentlemen and assholes alike, I give to you one half of the team Extreme Enigmatic Assholes, Mr.
Well, that name just, that's such a marketable name. That the name of the team, it kind of rolls off the tongue. Extreme, enigmatic, I'm begging.
Enigmatic.
Extreme
enigmatic asshole.
Don't get hot.
Would you just say it already?
Would you just call me easy? Relax. I'm trying to take the high road, for God's sakes. Call me an a-hole. Happy anniversary to you too, you a-hole.
And now, introducing his tag team partner from Cameron, North Carolina, weighing in at 231 pounds, Jeff Hardy.
Well, it's hard to explain. Gotta admit, we never saw it coming. But this relationship between Jeff Hardy, Mr. Anderson, it's so unbelievable that it may just work. I mean, both guys are so unpredictable. Both guys so outlandish. The eccentric behavior of the two, in my opinion, brings them together.
Well, I definitely think that Beer Money will be tested. I do. You've got two world-class athletes here in Hardy and Anderson. But, as we heard Christy Hemme say earlier, and I've been saying for a couple of weeks, you got these two guys here who, they really have, as far as we know, no chemistry as a unit. Where they're facing Beer Money, who is just loaded with that chemistry that Anderson and Hardy don't have.
Well, I'm convinced that they don't have the experience of Beer Money Incorporated, but when it comes to chemistry, certainly you can build up that chemistry over a long time period.
A long time period, one match.
But we have seen tag teams that have that kind of chemistry right from the outset. Whether that's the case with Mr. Anderson and Jeff Hardy or not, only time will tell.
It's definitely a tough test, I think, for both teams. I mean, it's a tough test for Beer Money in a way because of the unpredictable nature of this pairing of Anderson and Hardy. And both the success that Hardy and Anderson have had as singles competitors. But as we know, this is not a singles match.
Comes to preparation, pre-game strategy to speak for these two teams. Maybe an advantage that Anderson and Hardy have is that since Beer Money's been together for several years, their offensive moves might be predictable to the point where Anderson and Hardy can prepare for them. And maybe on the opposite side, I'm trying to make a case here.
I don't agree with that.
That's all right.
I can't interrupt you.
Be the devil's advocate, and I'm with you right there.
I'm not playing advocate or devil. I'm just saying that. You're saying Beer Money, their moves are predictable. That's what you're saying?
I'm saying that because they've been together for a couple years, maybe that's the case where, in terms of scouting, that Anderson and Hardy can be prepared for Storm and Rude, what they have to offer, and maybe that's not the case for Beer Money when it comes to the opposition.
Oh, I agree with that. Okay. All right, nice hammerlock now by Anderson here. See like this.
Glad we cleared that up.
They don't even know how to tag in these two guys. See that? They don't know how to tag each other. No, I'm only kidding. Look. Jeff Hardy, well documented. A lot of success as a tag team wrestler, but not with Anderson. Anderson, I don't know if he's ever really tagged anyone because no one really liked him for like a very long time. And I was there where no one liked him. I was there where nobody liked him. I liked him.
You would.
What he's trying to say.
I think you can read it.
All right, well, Robert Roode has got that side headlock on loads of impact on a basic shoulder block. And how about what Anderson said on impact when he said to Roode, why is your hair always wet? I always wondered that. Why is Roode's hair always wet? Don't say because he wets it before the match. I'm just saying, why? What's up with that? I don't get it.
Well, Beer Money, predictable or not, double team to perfection here as Hardy quickly rolls out of the way and gets to the corner after taking that blow. It's a real tag team is what Rude says. No question, the level of experience that Beer Money brings to this match is going to be tough for Anderson and Hardy to deal with. But
well, I mean, look, you make a very valid point as you did earlier. You did make one tonight. And
looking for number two.
Three-hour
event, I might get there.
That Beer Money, if Anderson and Hardy scouted, which I'm assuming they did, they kind of know their double team maneuvers, they being Beer Money. But I think that, that worked. That was a double team maneuver by Anderson and Hardy.
Maybe it's a case where Anderson and Hardy, they don't care about scouting the opposition. They just want to bring their best offense, their best arsenal to the ring, and let that fly.
Well, I think that'd be the best thing that Hardy and Anderson could do. Or the extreme, call it EEA. EEA. How about that?
EEA, that works. Extreme enigmatic.
You said it before, Mike. Say it again, you maniac, psycho. Look at Anderson now just teeing off on Storm.
Whoa.
There you go.
Anderson tried to get ahead of steam rolling. And the Robert Roode from outside opening up the ring ropes as Anderson ends up on the floor and then gets driven back first into the side of the ring.
And while that was all going down, Storm, whoa.
Storm quick pin.
Well, he had referee Slick Johnson's attention, which sometimes doesn't take much. You see Storm using some dirty tactics, and Anderson realizes he's got to get out of that corner. He sees what Beer Money's looking to do to him, but to no avail. Oh.
Beer Money after the Make-A-Wish spot there on Mr. Anderson. Follow up this advantage with a big elevation into the knee drop, and Rude right on top for the pin.
God, is Robert Roode's execution on offensive moves crisp? Could it be any prettier, really?
It's solid, it's crisp.
He's dead on, man.
The tag team specialist.
Well, they complement each other so well, Beer Money does.
James Storm just has been here from the outset, one of those names you mentioned right at the top, and has been a part of some incredible tag teams here in TNA. No denying that, dating back to the America's Most Wanted days, for certain. Oh! Surprise attack, the shot from outside by Storm. Oh, nice. Speaking of surprise, the clothesline from Anderson qualifies.
Desperation maneuver there. That was, you know, Anderson needed to get that going to shift the swing here a little bit for his team, for himself and Hardy. And there's legal tag, both men. Rude and Hardy now legal. Oh.
Hardy unleashing the offense, taking care of both members of Beer Money.
Oh!
Front suplex and the pin, but Storm's there with the double sledge.
Again, the great timing and the cohesiveness of Beer Money. Anderson, not the legal man. Whoa! Oh, he landed hard out there.
Yeah, right on his tailbone, it looked like. Anderson taken out of play. Hardy's got to deal with Rude. Back heel trip. Gonna go catapult right to his
look at this. Oh my God, spiked him like a lawn dart.
Yeah, that DDT, double team thing of beauty. Leads to the pin. And Hardy able to get out before 3, but that one was close.
And since the pairing, you know, hooking up, aligning with Ric Flair, meaning Beer Money. God, they've just been, Beer Money's been more lethal now than ever.
Last call super kick is what Storm from outside was setting up to do, but he got hooked from Mr. Anderson on the floor.
Trista fell like a stunner there. Uh-oh, Jeff Hardy will swanton.
Bam!
Oh, buddy.
Hardy
that might be it.
Top. Here's the pin. 2. Oh, this time Storm slides in and pulls the referee Slick Johnson out before he can count 3.
Look at that. Look at Storm did. That was tremendous thinking by Storm. Played possum, acting like he was down hurt. And then Anderson, you know, was the one who pulled the ref, and that never even happened.
Yeah, Anderson gets the riot act read to him by Slick Johnson, and it was Storm all the time who is the culprit.
Say what you want about Beer Money, ingenious tactic. Again, back to my point of being just a phenomenal tag team and how they have that advantage on Hardy and Anderson. You got no comeback.
I'm listening to the creatures of the night. I'm laying out to allow the fans at home the experience of this crowd here at Slammiversary, getting behind this Jeff Hardy comeback, if you don't mind.
I just thought you were going to elaborate on my point. Wait a minute. Oof. Well, look at Rude here.
Oh, man. Hardy elevated up, Storm the double knees, and that just, Mr. Anderson couldn't take it any longer, and you know what? You can't blame him.
Nah, you definitely can't. Get out of here! Referee Slick Johnson.
Quick goal, watch this quick pin on Hardy.
I'll tell you what, referee Slick Johnson really working hard out there. You might want to try decaf.
Beatdown of Jeff Hardy continues by Beer Money Incorporated.
Yeah, well, Hardy, look, this is, he's in dire straits right here. He's got to try to get Anderson in this match.
Wow.
Oh, my God. Look at that impact.
Hardy's body, as Storm tried to get him, it was such dead weight, he had a hard time hitting him full force with the move off the ropes, but Hardy able to dig down real deep and kick out at 2.
Look, for a very long time, anyone who's followed or has been a fan of Jeff Hardy knows how resilient he is.
Got to appreciate the tag team work of Beer Money Incorporated. The quick tags between Storm and Rude. They have had the fresh man in this battle for the majority of the match, and you can't say the same for Hardy and Anderson as Rude connects with the backbreaker.
You're right, Mike, and also what Beer Money's done so well is cut the ring in half. You know, tag team wrestling, you know, one-on-one and just keeping Hardy in that corner. Look, again.
Storm going to try and take advantage.
And they just, Beer Money just keeps forcing Hardy to kick out, exert more energy. Just wears you down,
sooner or later,
yeah.
There's that point where you try and kick out and just can't. Double team suplex as Hardy's taken over, and just the total domination of Storm and Rude has been evident here for the past several minutes.
Look at Jeff Hardy. He's not even moving. Just laid out.
Has been next to no life in the body of Hardy, the lifeless form. As Storm tries to bring him up to his feet here, but having a difficult time even getting him up for the slam.
He's dead weight. Jeff Hardy dead weight because grasping at his ribs. I mean, you don't know if he has any kind of internal damage. He's getting the tar kicked out of him out here. Oh, small package.
But the referee finally sent over by Anderson. Counts 2, though.
Referee was trying to get control of Anderson and Rude on the apron, and another one.
Off the clothesline, Rude tries to come in and get the pin, and it's just amazing the way that Hardy has avoided these 3 counts.
Oh, absolutely. He's showing a lot of heart as Hardy. I'm telling you from experience, you really can't explain to anyone unless you wrestled how much it takes out of you this late in the match to keep kicking out of moves. It looks like a basic thing, and it wears the hell out of you. It wears you down.
Especially when you have someone like Rude and Storm with a 240-ish pounds right on top of the pin cover.
But again, look at Jeff Hardy. Oh! High risk, missed it.
0 reward off the high risk for the charismatic enigma, Jeff Hardy.
Come on, Jeff! Come on, Jeff! We're too smart! We're too smart!
We're too smart.
You must be right.
Rude continues this, not only the beat down, but also the bad mouthing of Jeff Hardy.
Oh! Just like that, Hardy maybe putting the lights out on Robert Roode. Hardy's got to try and get in this matchup right now.
Something that we've been saying for several minutes, and finally the tag is in. The fresh man, Mr. Anderson, and he unleashes the offense on both, well, James Storm, Robert Roode, until that point.
Again, back to another double team maneuver. Now what? Oh, look at this, Anderson. He busted it up.
Oof! Off the roll through, here goes Anderson on top of Roode. Storm drops the elbow right on top of his own partner.
Not often you see Beer Money on opposite pages there. Whoa!
Off the back of his own partner. Hardy flies out to the floor.
Jeff Hardy throwing caution to the wind, but yet again, and now Mr. Anderson
setting up for the mic check.
Yeah, didn't happen.
A series of elbow shots to the side of the head, and then the double R spine buster. Here we go, 2. Hardy's there just in the nick of time.
Great timing by Jeff Hardy to save his partner. Oof.
The super kick attempt by Storm doesn't connect, but he does with the boot that doubles over Hardy. It's going to go eye of the storm here.
Well, we've seen this before by Storm on Jeff, and he nails it, but yet again. Well, there goes. Storm out. Now it looks like in a double-team situation is Hardy and Anderson.
Rude thinks that that storm behind him wasn't the case.
There it is.
It was Hardy. There's the mic check by Anderson. Cover, 2, got it.
The winners of the match, the team of Jeff Hardy and Mr. Anderson.
Wow. Really to see Anderson. He too got split open, but very impressive victory. And I gotta say, like a stand-up guy, I was wrong. I didn't expect that to happen. Victorious is Anderson, and Jeff Hardy on Beer Money. Wasn't easy, but they got it done.
The resiliency
Anderson's head
of Hardy and Anderson proves the difference.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match, Jeffrey Neal Hardy.
And the other winner of the match, Mr. Anderson! Happy anniversary, Slammiversary, TNA rocks!
Good stuff right there.
Special moment. Very special moment. The post-match tributes sent back and forth from Jeff Hardy to Mr. Anderson and vice versa.
Well, that was a hell of a tag team matchup. And like I said a moment ago, I really thought Beer Money was going to win the match. No disrespect to both Anderson and Jeff Hardy. They're both personal friends of mine. But I got to tell you what, I just didn't think they'd get it done against a powerful, awesome team like Beer Money. But I was wrong. Great matchup.
Got to soak in the post-match celebration. We saw the tribute from Anderson to Hardy and back and forth. But now this is the opportunity for the TNA fans to show their respect to this newly formed tag team tonight. I know a lot of us thought they couldn't coexist.
Well, you thought they could, kind of.
Yeah.
I didn't. I was wrong. Well, that happens. But what a way to spend an anniversary. I want to show. This has been awesome.
Couldn't be better. 8-year anniversary, Slammiversary event live from Orlando, Florida. The great win for Jeff Hardy and Mr. Anderson, but still to come, ladies and gentlemen, our main event. It's the TNA World Heavyweight Title. It's Sting challenging Rob Van Dam. Gonna be big, Taz.
Well, you can't get much bigger than the world title on the line. The question is, can Rob Van Dam retain tonight, almost about right now, against Sting, who, as we pointed out, has just been straight up playing head games with everybody around here, but even getting in Van Dam's head. But the violence that Sting has been bringing, the #1 contender, is playing for keeps. We might crown a new World Heavyweight Champion at Slammiversary tonight.
Sting has said that when he wins the TNA World Heavyweight Title tonight, the veil's going to be lifted off the eyes. The true colors are going to be exposed, and he's going to explain what deception is all about. It's up next tonight at Slammiversary, the World Title main event.
For the first time ever, the icon Sting versus Rob Van Dam for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship.
I'm not sure that Sting deserves the #1 contender spot at Slammiversary. It's obvious that he's a legend, he's an icon, and a lot of fans want to see this match.
With Sting being on top for 18 years, with the amount of votes that he got, the needle swung his way. So no matter what my opinion is, the way his past conduct has been the last couple months, I wouldn't even let him in the building if it was up to me.
I think people would disagree with me, but Sting is the icon. Sting is one of the greatest wrestlers who ever lived. I believe when you have that kind of status, you could be the #1 rated wrestler at any time.
Why have I turned my back on everyone? Why Sting? Why? It's almost to the point where it's becoming comical to hear people say that. My word is on the line. I've been in this place before, so it's no surprise to me. And I'm not going to give a full-blown explanation right now, but I am going to tell you that there is meaning behind my actions. That world title does have meaning. The world title does have impact. The world title does give one power.
The TNA World Championship. The concentration of power needed to achieve his goals in TNA Wrestling.
If Sting gets the title world champion at Slammiversary, what that means for TNA is that it's a dark day.
The icon Sting.
There is meaning behind my action.
The whole effing show, Rob Van Dam.
Our paths are crossing now, Sting.
The TNA World Heavyweight Championship.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we have been waiting for. Anticipation level runs high because the TNA World Heavyweight title matchup, it's up next at Slammiversary, and we're going to break it down for you, beginning with Taz as we hit the tail of the tape.
Well, you can see, there is a size difference between these two men. The challenger got, he's bigger basically than the champion. But you know what? You got to be careful with the champ. With RVD, he can hit you from any point in that ring with that sick arsenal of kicks. But again, the violent terror, the aggressiveness of Sting is something to definitely mess with, and that could definitely help the challenger.
Here's the scouting report. TNA President Dixie Carter, Managing Partner Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff named Sting #1 in the recently announced Top 10 rankings. Yes, Sting claims he has no personal issues with RVD. #1 contender insists Robbie just in the wrong place at the wrong time in the Icon's quest to become champion. And since Sting refuses to explain his actions, we're left with nothing but questions. Even though his name, his word, his reputation is on the line, he talks about, misunderstandings, smoke and mirrors, and deception. Tonight, Sting promises to deliver the change that everybody wants.
And there you see the challenger, the #1 contender, taking his time, heading towards ringside. You talk about deception. That's what was put on by Sting on the property, the World Heavyweight title belt. Sting vandalized the belt of the champion, Rob Van Dam. That in itself is big-time disrespectful. Well, that Sting has said for years, it's showtime, folks, and it definitely is. Might want to put that Louisville Slugger down, because I don't know if that's going to be allowed in this match.
Trademark baseball bat brought to the ring by the Icon. He's used words like deception, smoke and mirrors. He says what's black is white and what's white is really black. But when the veil is lifted and the true colors are exposed, we'll all find out what the story is. And to me, the question is, will that meaning of Sting's unpredictability finally be known to all involved tonight here at Slammiversary?
I hope so. I hope, like all of our fans, I'm wondering what the hell Sting's talking about too. Really, I mean, it's just he's not really saying anything, but he's saying things, so it's very confusing. Hopefully we find out tonight. And there you see the TNA World Heavyweight Champion, Mr. TNA, Rob Van Dam. Devastating kicks, always in a relaxed state, very laid back, never tense. But those kicks come from that insane flexibility. Trust me, my jaw can tell you that from experience. This guy's blasted me in the face many times, so this should be a hell of a contest. Well, the World Heavyweight Champion, Mikey, has always had that cult following, that rabid fan base. And it's in full effect here on the 8th year anniversary of TNA.
very interesting pre-match comments from the TNA World Heavyweight Champion. Rob Van Dam said he heard what Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff had to say about Sting's agenda, but he can't let that stuff distract him in this match. Bottom line, he has to walk out of Slammiversary the same way he walked in. TNA World Heavyweight title belt in his possession, around his waist. He issued the warning to Sting about putting those mind games on the back burner. Yeah, it's showtime, all right. It's the whole effing showtime.
You can see the title belt is all shined up. The word deception obviously removed off of the title belt. As I pointed out, vandalized. That's the best way to put it. That man Sting did to the world title this past Thursday on Impact. I'll tell you, I'm a former world champion. If anybody ever did that to my title, I'd be pretty angry.
Ladies and gentlemen, to set the stage for our Slammiversary main event, the World Heavyweight title match, we send it to the ring to Mr. Jeremy Borash.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the TNA Heavyweight Championship of the World. When the bell rings, the man in charge, TNA Senior Official, Mr. Earl Hebner. And now, on this, the 8th birthday of Total Non-Stop Action Wrestling, it is time for your Slammiversary main event of the evening. Introducing, first of all, standing to my left. He weighed in this morning at 250 pounds and comes to us from Venice Beach, California. He is the #1 contender for the TNA Heavyweight Championship of the World. He is the Icon, Sting. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing standing to my right. He weighed in this morning at 237 pounds and comes to us from Battle Creek, Michigan. He is the current reigning and defending TNA Heavyweight Champion of the World, Rob Van Dam.
Rabid fan base that Taz talked about earlier, certainly a major part of this Slammiversary main event.
Big fight feel right here, folks. I'm telling you, I got goosebumps. Both of these men are basically both very used to being in the spotlight, being main eventers. Both Sting and Van Dam. Clash of styles, though, in my view.
Just what I was going to point out. Could you really have two more different or two more divergent styles than the champion and the challenger bring to this match as this vicious, violent side of Sting comes back out again, takes Van Dam right out to the steel guardrail and continues to beat on him.
Yeah, Sting seems like trying to take a shortcut on the outside here to maybe get an advantage.
Got business to take care of with him right here.
Van Dam, I'm sorry. So, got to get back in the ring, and that's what Hebner's saying.
I think I heard Sting say he had business to take care of with Van Dam, and RVD turns it around, sends Sting into the wall, and then kicks him directly into the wall.
Oh, man. How many times is Van Dam gonna drive Sting into that wall?
Just keeps bouncing Sting right off of it, and when Sting comes right back at him,
might be another one.
He throws him again.
That's the thing about Van Dam. Even though he's usually calm, and like I said earlier, laid back, he has an extreme, pun intended, aggressive style.
Series of shots by RVD as Sting is in a bad way. Hung out over the guardrail. Wow.
Leg drop across the back of the head.
That flips Sting back inside the guardrail, the momentum of the move.
Well, this is for the World Heavyweight Championship. Referee Earl Hebner putting his best effort trying to get these men both back in the ring.
Battle continues throughout the impact zone as Sting started it. Sting brought RVD outside. RVD, oh my, oh wow. Bad landing there because that's nothing but concrete.
Well, I guess referee Earl Hebner being a little lenient here because it's for the world title.
I mean, I like that. I like the fact that it was giving him that opening, and especially I like it because it was Sting who took it outside the ring initially.
And I guess turnabout's fair play. So Van Dam runs Sting into the wall about, I don't know, 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, repeatedly. Oh, again. Sting trying to clear away people in the crowd here at Slammiversary so that he can continue to take Van Dam. And, well, as we saw earlier, well, it's turnabout fair play, I guess.
Well, you know what? Hey, listen, Mike, the longer the Sting stays on the outside, in my view, the longer it's in the advantage of Sting. In the ring, between the ropes, I do think Van Dam would have a big advantage on Sting. I do. He has a larger offense and an arsenal, and a more dangerous arsenal in between the ropes.
Sting rearranging the facial features of Van Dam, and you think back to the pre-match comments that we heard from both Sting, and we've talked about them repeatedly, but also the pre-match comments of Eric Bischoff, who said we're finally seeing Sting for what he really is. He's not the man that everybody thought that Sting was. He's a fraud. He's hiding behind his mask. He's avoiding the truth, and he's not being honest.
Well, he could be right on that. Time will tell, I guess. Well, right now it's about the World Heavyweight Championship, which is finally in the ring. The beat down on the outside helped for Sting. I'm assuming that was his game plan, to weaken the champion on the outside and then take it to him on the inside.
The most important possession in TNA, the TNA World Heavyweight Title. Sting sizing up RVD. Sting sees that TNA World Heavyweight Title in his future as he hits a stinger splash to the back of Van Dam in the corner.
Might be another one coming. Oh. For years, we've seen Sting hit that to much success.
Right on top of Van Dam, and the challenger gets a near fall. We've seen so much success, as Taz mentioned, with those moves of Sting, and not only gaining an immediate pin off of a stinger splash like that, but also setting up his opponent for a potential scorpion move, whether it be the scorpion death drop or the scorpion death lock that Sting can bring. As Van Dam tries to get the crowd rolling here and feeds off the emotion of the fans at Slammiversary.
And what Sting's trying to do is keep Van Dam at bay with that rear chin lock to avoid Van Dam, the champion, on a vertical base, because that's where Rob is most dangerous. Because of the insanity of the kicks that he possesses, like that one right there.
It's what we've been anticipating, Taz, for the entire part of this matchup, the chance for Van Dam to unleash one of those kicks. You mentioned it earlier, how important it was that the match get back in the ring. For Van Dam to have an advantage, to get Sting inside the ring and not brawl with him outside.
Correct, and I think that's what Sting's game plan was at the beginning of this thing. And now, you know, we're seeing the champion, Rob Van Dam, taking advantage right now and just rocking and rolling the jaw of Sting.
Drops him with the running clothesline. Sting back to his feet. Immediately set down, and then the great extension of the leg with the super kick.
That's what I was pointing out, the flexibility. The flexibility that Van Dam has in his quads, in his calves, in his hips. And the power he has. I mean, he's extremely powerful as Van Dam. When you think of him, you don't think of him as a powerful wrestler, but he really is. Look at that thrust kick.
Explosive kick out of the corner. Thrust kick leads to 2.
When Van Dam hits you one of those dives, it's like getting hit with like a small bus.
Front slam, drops him down.
Saying that's it. Maybe a little split leg time. Yeah, there it is.
We talked about the flexibility. Split leg moonsault on top of Sting, and the champ gets another near fall.
I've had the opportunity many times in my career to wrestle Van Dam. I've never had the opportunity to wrestle Sting. But I kind of know the offense of our champion, but he changed it a lot. Right there, speaking of changing directions with Sting, he knew the momentum, Mike, was going towards the champion's favor, and he shut him down.
And Sting goes back to what's going to give him the advantage, the strikes in the corner. I think an inadvertent blow caught referee Earl Hebner in the eye. Quickly, Van Dam here goes up to the top. And went for the cross body block. Sting moves out of the way.
Blasted him. Referee Earl Hebner got drilled.
Sting's timing was perfect. Moving out of the way, the referee down. So not only does Sting avoid the blow, avoid the contact, but now he can bring the weapon into play, the trademark baseball bat.
Yeah, Sting can basically do whatever the heck he wants right now. Oh my God,
what a shot.
Referee Earl Hebner down and hurt. Oh.
Sting taking out the legs, the knee of RVD, and if you're going to use the baseball bat against Van Dam, it's probably the strategy.
Yeah, well, I definitely. What the? Jeff Jarrett.
Jeff Jarrett had told us all Thursday night on Impact he'd be watching Slammiversary from his home in Tennessee, and God, Jeff Jarrett's here. Oh! Takes away the baseball bat from Sting.
Everyone's shocked that Jarrett's here. Mostly Sting.
The arrival of Jeff Jarrett has all of a sudden evened the playing field here as he drills Sting with the bat into play.
Roll of Thunder.
Caught him. RVD hits the rolling thunder on Sting. Going to drag him back out to the middle and cover.
Got him.
Counts 1.
He retained.
Here counts 2.
Van Dam down. Sting had the wherewithal to kick out of that rolling thunder. I thought that was it.
A lot of us did when he hit that rolling thunder. Here he comes.
Oh, nobody home.
Oh, RVD trapped in the corner precariously.
The #1 contender.
Sting's got him in his sights.
He might be on the cusp of becoming a new champion.
Oh, Sting splash does not connect. Quickness of RVD.
Oh, man.
Beautiful kick to follow. Here it comes off the top. Could be going 5-star. 5-star frog splash off the top by the champ.
He's got to cover. He's got to cover now.
Counter. Counts 2. Get 3. He got the win.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match, and still TNA Heavyweight Champion of the World, Rob Van Dam.
So Rob Van Dam is able to retain the TNA World Championship in successful fashion on Sting. Man, oh man.
Taz, we're going to go back. We're going to recap. We're going to review what we just witnessed in our Slammiversary main event. Early on, Van Dam was able to turn things around here against Sting when Sting took it out to the streets.
A little bit on the outside. I really feel like Sting was trying to get the advantage on the outside, which he did. But then once it got in the middle of the ring, Sting was rolling good. I'm sorry, Van Dam was. But then Van Dam inadvertently catching Earl Hebner with that cross body opened up the window of opportunity for Sting to go to town with the bat and in shocking fashion. We didn't think Jarrett was here, but he was. And had big impact on this match. 5-star frog splash. Our champion retains.
There you see the 3 count from referee Earl Hebner. And Rob Van Dam remains TNA World Heavyweight Champion as the crowd here at Slammiversary celebrates. What a night it's been for the TNA President Dixie Carter, for the entire TNA organization, for my broadcast partner Taz. It's Mike today saying thanks again to you, the loyal TNA fans, for being a part of Slammiversary, and we'll see you Thursday night on Impact.